So welcome to lovely sunny Rome for this European Cricket League 2021 playoff between the Italian champions of 2019, Asian Latina, and the champions of this season as of yesterday, Brescia Cricket Club. Of course, an iconic and historic city that needs no real introduction whatsoever. The Italian capital. These beautiful drone shots showing you exactly where we are. Rome Spinacetto cricket ground on the outskirts of the Italian capital. A beautifully dressed cricket ground with a few cow paddocks in and around, but I can promise you that the ground itself is utterly pristine. Couldn't want a better dressed cricket ground. I'm Michael McCann. Fantastic to have you with us wherever you are across the world, watching on ECN.cricket for this final to decide the penultimate available spot in the 2021 bonanza that is the European Cricket League. 16 teams will get there. 14 have already been confirmed. Spain the only other side to be confirmed after the Italian team that will be ticked off today. Rico Full is alongside me. Good afternoon, Rico.
Good afternoon, Michael.
So, we have got some cricket for you, and not just some cricket with a lot at stake. High stakes, unpredictable stuff. But for those of you very used to watching ECN.cricket, you might have to just remind yourself that this is T20, not T10. Now, the slight oddity of a playoff to get into a T10 tournament still being a T20 format is well, I'm still not quite sure what I make of that, but that's what we're doing. The Italian Federation, understandably in one sense, saying, well, the teams have to win their T20 competition to get here, and so having played in that T20 format throughout to get this opportunity, that's how they should continue to earn their qualification status. So we've got a T20 game. Brescia Cricket Club in green and yellow are in the field, and that is because Asian Latina have won the toss and they've chosen to bat. Asian Latina in the yellow and the black, just getting ready for the first over of the game on this very bouncy concrete artificial track where we saw yesterday plenty of joy for the bowlers on the bumpers. Shadnan Khan to get us off and underway. Left alone. Rightly left alone by Dharamveer Singh because he'll pick up a wide. Sukhbir Singh is the non-striker.
Yeah, just looking at that ball there, I mean, Shadnan Khan, he's been round the circuit, hasn't he? He's a very experienced bowler. But that one really did swing away a lot. It started on sort of, it would have been on the, just outside the off stump, but swung big.
Oh, that's a good clean shot in the power play, and that's the first boundary of this final. Lovely crisp batting. It was in the slot, just a bit too full. It did swing again from Shadnan. Just look at that length. It's there for the wrists and the bottom hand to come through and flick it away through that vacant mid-wicket region. And Dharamveer Singh is off and running.
Clever shot that in the power play. Goes to show some confidence from the batsman. Not afraid to lift the ball over the infielders. Nice to see early on. It will give him a lot of confidence.
Well, that's a much better length. And he's found the outside edge. Luck with Dharamveer Singh, who gets through for a single, but this was very good from Shadnan Khan after a couple of looseness. Just that awkward back of a length and stepping away, trying to make room in the power play. Instead, finds the outside edge, gets off strike, and he might be happy to get off strike against this opening pair for Brescia Cricket Club. Faisal Shah will probably bowl at the other end. Two good pace bowlers, a left arm and right arm combination as well, and we've seen that these cricket balls really do swing. Well bowled again, and just look at that swing off the pitch. Well, they talk about artificial tracks being concrete roads, and you hear it used by village cricketers as, well, this pitch is literally a road. See that swinging just inside the line of the bat, really nicely bowled by Shadnan, in a way that it's easy to bat on. I can tell you, this pitch is not easy to bat on.
No, I must admit, Michael, when I was taking a walk up there before and I'm looking at the surface thinking, I could warm up and have a bowl on this. I was liking the look of it.
That's nicely bowled again and just short of slip. Sukhbir Singh off the mark, but in the most uncertain of ways. Shadnan Khan settling into a really nice rhythm. Just look at how it leaps up off that surface, hits the top of the bat. And he survives, already creating chances, Shadnan Khan.
Good pace, ball coming through, using this pitch very well. There's something in this pitch for the bowlers. They're going to make full advantage of it. I was saying, Michael, I was looking at the pitch, I prefer to have a bowler on it. But I think the spinners will like it as well. Look, the surface is going to get some grip, that's for sure. Something for everyone, something for the batsmen, something for the bowlers.
Nicely bowled again, and all Darren Deer can do is block it back. It was a 6-over power play in the T20 format, so only 2 fielders allowed outside of the ring. They're currently at long on. And from what? Oh, third man, pardon me. Hiding behind our marquee tent. I need to get myself a new brand of spectacles. But any clean shot that beats the offside ring. Oh, well, long on's come up now. They've decided to put 2 out behind square. 1 at fine leg, 1 at third man. Oh, and that's the first bumper of the day. It's just a bit too wide, though. For fans of fast bowling and bouncers, you are definitely watching the right cricket match here, folks. Because we're going to see plenty of them today. Shadnan with the first. Just a bit misdirected, though, trying his outswinger. His radar not quite right. He's bowled some good balls in this first over, but he's also bowled a couple of wides now. It's nicely bowled. He's bowling to his field. He's got protection there, so that's okay. One might think of a short and wide ball as being there to go, but actually with the field he's got a deep third man covering as well. That's more than fine. So the end of the first over, 9 without loss in this playoff between the 2019 champions Asian Latina and the 2020 champions Brescia Cricket Club. Your umpires today are Asad Ali and the former Italian international cricketer Samantha Katepe. And for this second over it will be Asad Ali on duty with Katepe at square leg. Darren Deer taking strike. He's hit the only boundary so far. Well, there's plenty of pace on both sides, and one of those is the man we were about to see who lit up yesterday with some delightful fast bowling. Brescia beating Kings 11 in both of the finals competed yesterday to win the right to get into this ECL 2021 playoff match, and also secure themselves as the Kings of Italy for the 2020 season.
Dharmendra Singh, the captain, getting ready to face the second over.
Faisal Shah, the speedster. That's a good start, and it's a cross-batted swipe to a ball that deserved a lot more respect. Well, either he wasn't watching the streams yesterday, Dharmendra Singh, of Faisal Shah in action, or he was, and he decided that he was good enough to take him on from the very first ball. Just look at that awkward angle, left arm swinging back, and he's fortunate that didn't go through the gate.
Faisal Shah, we had him in Barcelona playing in the ECS, and he was a sharp bowler there.
And he's still just as sharp here as he got the nick. Not given. Umpire Ali unmoved, causing havoc already. Well, look at how far that comes back on the angle. Beats the batsman on the inside edge. Such is the prodigious amount of swing that he's getting. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 6 for 3 yesterday in the second final against Kings 11, the Coppa Italia final. Both of those finals on this ground. So he's already well tuned to bowling on this pitch. Oh, he's nearly got him again off the inside edge. Well, Dharamdir Singh is fighting fire with fire here. He's decided it's the power play. He's decided there's pace on the ball and that he's going to try and use it to get the scoreboard moving. But there's well-directed pace on the ball with a lot of swing. And he's not really looking comfortable at all here.
Faisal Shah, Michael, in Barcelona was sharp. And he was sharp on a pitch that didn't give the bowlers too much. This one, with the amount of bounce and pace he's getting, he's been loving this. I'm not surprised he did well.
Oh, that's a huge, well, it was a stifled LB appeal in the end. I was going to say huge because I'm so used to teams going up for everything, but they realised that this was going a long way down. They get swung too much, you can see there. If that swung a little bit less, that takes out the leg pole. Is he going to get in this over? He's been all over him. We've all been there as a batsman when you're facing a bowler and you know you just can't find a way to get bat on ball.
Yeah, the captain not looking comfortable. He's not moving his feet as much as he should, I don't think. Needs to be getting to the pitch of this ball.
Oh, and that's a sort of back-footed extra cover drive, and it's actually worked out quite well for Dharamdir. An odd-looking shot, but it's effective in the end. So a second boundary of the innings and a second boundary for Dharamdir. Stayed very, very deep in his crease and hit it on the half volley in the end. A sort of front foot cut shot.
Yeah, he'd be relieved to get bat onto ball and get a boundary, but to be honest, he's not looking comfortable. He did say that he wants his team to post 150. That's the target he's got in mind, so he's got a lead from the front, the captain.
It's well bowled again. He's made room, sort of swiped this with his bottom hand through the onside. He'll get one. He'll keep the strike down, Dharamdir Singh. It won't get any easier for him because he'll have Shadnan Khan charging in from the other end of this ground. 2 overs gone, 14 without loss. I like to think of this end that we're coming from for this third over of the innings that we had for the first over of the innings as well, as sort of the equestrian end almost, because right behind this there's a horse paddock and academy where there's been horses trotting up and down throughout our weekend here. It's not an official name, I should clarify, but in my head it's very much the equestrian end that Shadnan Khan is coming in from now, and he is a bowler that does sort of charge in like a kicking horse. He really gives it everything, and it's a good ground for real cricketing theatre. This it's rare you see even an artificial track that offers quite so much bounce as this one, and when you get well directed short stuff, it's proper cricketing gladiatorial amphitheatre. Batsmen, particularly in this format, have got to try the pull shot. Here is Shadnan. Oh, that's a Yorker. It's gone straight through him. He's trying to step away again and make room for the shot down there. Oh, and that's missed the leg stump by inches. It's a good take from the keeper.
How did it miss? That looked like it was going to do a lot of damage. It was going to smash into the stumps there. Somehow, just maybe it's that late movement away, these balls swinging around a little bit. He survives again.
And a miss outside the off stump. And that's the kind of thing you can expect to see plenty of today, folks. Both of these teams have got some really good, exciting fast bowlers. Just couldn't catch up with this one. Looked too quick for him.
Yeah, Michael, he's struggling, and I'm just wondering whether Dharamdir Singh, the captain, he just needs to get a bat onto ball, I think. Take a single, rotate the strike a bit.
Well, we definitely didn't get your message. Another huge heave. Well, there's clearly an intent to be really positive in this power play. Dharminder now has 11 off 13, and that includes 2 boundaries. But the pressure is definitely building. They're trying to hit the ball so hard, really swinging.
Yeah, and Sukhbir Singh is just sitting at the non-striker's end thinking, come on Skip, take a single, let me take some of the pressure off you.
It's full again, and he's left it alone. Sort of going from one extreme to the other, Dharminder.
Yeah,
a flighty little slur ball caught him out.
Just toss that up there, Michael.
But you could also sense that he was in 2 minds about whether to have a go at it again, but having swiped previously. Just a bit of Goldilocks needed. He's got to find something in the middle at the moment. It's been very all or nothing.
Shadnan Khan just making an adjustment to his field. Looks like he's sending a fine leg has gone back, so fine leg third man.
So any convincing hit in front of square either side the wicket's probably a boundary. That's short. Well, it was telegraphed by the field changing and fine leg going out. But even with it being telegraphed, there was nothing Dharminder could do about it. Well, we'll see this here. Just looked too quick for him. And it hits him on the helmet as well. Just grazes the edge of it. Seems okay. Hasn't called for medical assistance. Braver man than me. Shadnan Khan maybe just having a few words afterwards as well, just getting into his head. It's a lot of pressure here on the captain. He's got 11 off 15 now.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to put this Yorker in right on his toes now. He's got him shaken, hasn't he? Is he going to finish the job? Is he going to get his man? We'll see.
Nicely bowled again, back of a length. Good pick up in the covers as well. Really important to show intent with the field, and in the field I should say. Basharat Ali doing exactly that. End of the 3rd over, and it is a maiden. Dharminder Singh has 11 off 16. Sukhbir at the other end's only faced 2 balls. And Shadnan Khan has got the first maiden of this T20 ECL 21 playoff match. 2 overs, 1 maiden, 9 without loss from his couple of overs, 14 without loss from 3. It's a nervy start from Asian Latina.
Very much so. They have found the boundary twice, but other than that, it's not looked too convincing for them. Maybe Sukhbir Singh, now that he's on strike, can do a little better.
Oh, it's nicely bowled again. If anything, it's swinging too much from Faisal Shah. If he could start it just a bit more outside the off stump, these would be cannoning into middle and off. But even so, it's mightily difficult to get away. Just look at how much that's coming back, and he's jumping out of the way, which, if you're a fast bowler and you see a batsman jumping like that to get out the way of the ball, you do not mind that one bit. You know you've got them on the ropes. Oh, that's too full though. He's got protection out there. One of his 2 fielders in the power play who are out is Basharat Ali at long on. So it's a single for Sukhbir. He has 2 off 4 balls. And now Dharminder faces again. He's really struggled against this high quality fast bowling pair. The left arm in swing of Faisal Shah on show once more. Just straying onto the pads this time. I think of 2 to Basharat. It's not there though, he's a good fielder. He's already shown it 3 times today with good quick pickups. Showing intent, and that's exactly what you need when the pressure cooker is on. You need the fielders to help ratchet it up a few degrees rather than provide a release.
Yeah, just observation on both these batsmen. Both are preferring to bat inside, well inside their crease. I'm just wondering whether they just need to take a few steps further. Wicket-keeper's way back. Stumping's out the equation. That might help them pick the ball better.
That's a bouncer, and that's as good a shot as we've actually seen throughout this game from either of the opening batsmen, albeit it was a block from Sukhbir Singh. 34-year-old getting really solidly in behind that, and having jumped out of the way of the previous one, that was a more assured shot. He's clearly had a word with himself, realised that just got to get in line. It's quick, it's scary, and it's really bouncing off this pitch, but that's the challenge of being an opening batsman. Oh, he's backed away from that, and the pads have saved him. Again, just sliding down from Faisal Shah. If you were to be really hypercritical, he's not quite starting it in the right place, so it's often hitting the pads or the body rather than the stumps. Top ball though.
Hey Michael, you've had the advantage of seeing the Berkshire attack. Are the batsmen here thinking, okay, let's see out these two bowlers, their spell, and then we'll open up? Is that the thinking here?
Not from the shots they've played, I'd say. Well, that again, he appeals for LBW. It was not really hitting a second set of stumps. It was possibly going over a second set of stumps that was on the leg side. You can see there, well, it's hitting right on the top of the pads, and those pads are well outside the line of all of the furniture. So that completes the over from Faisal Shah. The squeeze continues. Asian Latina really cannot get going here. Just two off that over, a maiden off the previous over from Shadnan Khan. So if you're Brescia here, these two have got it on a string. Do you keep them going in the hope they get the breakthrough that they deserve? Or do you make a change? Well, Shadnan is going to bowl his third. Back of a length, it's an ugly mistimed pull shot, but he knows where his gap is. It's calculated aggression at the very least, and they'll come back for two. It's one of the least aesthetically pleasing bits of cricket you might see today.
Yeah, showed no authority really in that shot. It was just a case of, well, he swung his back across. Nothing looked right about it. There was no authenticness.
The only credit you would give him is that he was aware of the fact that the only fielder in that region at all was the man right next to the square leg umpire. So with the amount of pace on the ball, if he just got a half decent connection, then he'd be okay. Square leg's gone back now, which would suggest there's more short stuff coming. Square leg and third man, the two out. And it is short again. That is a proper bouncer. It's gone through at shoulder height, perfectly legitimate. It was just too quick for the batsman. He's been told rightly, Shadnan Khan, that's his one for the over. Whisks through at shoulder height. Oh, he's looking up to the umpire for a wide. As you can see there, I'd say that's not a wide. It's just a good bouncer against Dharminder, who's cutting a very frustrated figure right now.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. He's very frustrated. He's already been hit on the lid, so anything short, he's a little bit wary of it. Shadnan needs to get one right in his block here, and he's got his man, I think.
Back of a length again, and he's backing away. Well, if there's any sign of a batsman who is nervous, and dare I say even frightened, that is it. I'm all open to the idea of a batsman backing away to try and play an aggressive shot, but I'd be lying if I said it looks like that from where we are. It's just fear, and frankly it is perfectly forgivable because this is really nasty, high quality, short, fast bowling being well executed. That's a shot with more conviction. Should only be two out to extra cover, will be two. Ali Raza, the firecracker fields. And if you think that you've got your fill of aggressive short bowling from this opening pair, well, you haven't seen Sahil Ali Raza yet. He's right up there on the speed gun too. He's 6'4" as well, so he's coming from quite a height. Lovely little outswing. He just held it back as well, teased the big shot. They still haven't got this first wicket. And mightily deserve it. Just look at the outswing here from Shadnan. It's come out the back of the hand, slur ball. It's through it very early. Well bowled.
Yeah, I'm just wondering here whether Berkshire, they're liking this pitch. They're getting a lot out of it. Whether they're just guilty of just pitching a little bit too short and not going for that wicket ball.
Oh, well, that is too short, and it's the first convincing pull shot we've seen of the day. Gets a single, and big cheers from the Asian Latina batting tent just to try and encourage these two who've really not had a good time of it against the short pitch bowling. Single to end the 5th over. Dharminder has 17 off 23. He's dominated the strike. He's definitely getting value for his match fee at the moment. And Asian Latina are 20 without loss from 5, which, however you put it, isn't good for a power play. You mentioned earlier they're trying to see them out, Rico. Ooh. Well, Dharminder tried to hit every single one of the first 10 balls he faced for 4 or 6. And then it seems like from then on, he's sort of retreated into his shell a little bit, as has Sukhbir, and they've gone, well, we're actually going to try and just get through this and see what comes next. Shah to continue. He's only conceded 7 from his 2 overs. Let's hit him on the pads again. Fielded by Yasir Nawaz. They had a quarter of a thought for an LBW appeal that time, and then they decided, I think it's missing a second set down leg, so you know what, we won't even try it. Just look at how far this one is down leg. Well, maybe hitting a third set, and it's also hit him sort of thigh pad. Yeah, there was the brief shout.
Yeah, I mean, Faisal will be looking at that, or he should be looking at that and the movement from Dharminder Singh and saying, you know what, I've got to just get this more across him, get a full Yorker and onto around about his middle of the leg, and that should be the end of the captain. I think he's got the quality, he's got to produce.
Slower ball, it's almost a comically slower ball. And Dharminder just drops his bat on it. Takes a quick single, well run, fielded by Kulab Sajjad, the captain. I've been calling for it for a while, Rico. I've got to agree with you. He's just screaming out for a full straight Yorker, and we know he's capable of it, Faisal Shah. He was arguably the star with the ball, with this pressure attack that was so excellent against Kings 11 in those 2 finals that they won yesterday. Well bowled again, but just a touch too far down leg side. Might be buzzers, there will be buzzers, it could well be 5 runs. Yes, it is 5 runs, 4 overthrows. Well, they'll take anything they can get at the moment, Asian Latina. They've been struggling to get bat on ball, but this will go down in the book as 5 leg byes. Not something that you see every day. So there's a single for the run after it came off the pad of Dharminder. And then it was thrown to the boundary. Well, there's 2 schools of thought here. Is it the fault of the fielder for shying? Or there's another cricketing school of thought that it's worth the risk to shy for the run out and it's up to the fielders to back up. The backing up was not in place. 2 fielders on the offside unable to get round. Here in beautiful sunny Rome, we're coming towards the end of the power play. Oh, he's beaten him again. And Dharminder gets lucky on the amount of times the ball's gone in between the pad and the leg stump, who was thumped into the pad. There's been not much protection of the castle here. No, and somehow the castle still hasn't fallen.
Standing. I mean, even with the guy having a shy at the stumps, can't knock him over. But Faisal's certainly bowling a fuller length. Those last 2 deliveries been fuller. Before that was a slower ball. This one, I think he's going to fire it in. Fire it in short. Let's have a look. Let's see if my instincts of a fast bowler are still intact. Here he comes.
Well, That is a short ball, but that was an attempted slower short ball. It's actually well played by Dharminder. Waited for it. Did just manage to jab it out to Gulub Sajjad, get a single. And I'm sure he won't mind being at the non-striker's end at the moment. So Sukhbir, the 34-year-old, will face up. Last ball of his third over. Does he finally go for that Yorker? Oh, he's gone for the short ball. And it's fielded out there by Ataullah. Fended away. Did well to actually just about keep this one down, Sukhbir, because it was rising on him fast. And he does manage to get his hands. Look how high he gets his hands there. It does at least mean that when the ball comes off the bat, it is heading downwards rather than at a catchable height. And that's what means that he survives it. So end of the power play. A power play where I must say I'm baffled that a wicket hasn't ended up falling. There's been so many chances. Not necessarily drop catches, but opportunities. 28 without loss after 6 overs.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering here, Michael Bershia, their captain, Khalib, is he at the state of mind here, looking at the run rate, saying, you know what, guys, maybe if we just keep bowling this line and we keep these guys in for as long as possible, that's a good thing for us because the run rate is not very high. They're not finding many boundaries. I mean, if you look at that score, 5 of those have been gifted to them with that overthrow. So wouldn't they be quite content just to keep the run rate down and then go knock them off?
Well, they have made a change in the bowling and speculated how long they'd keep these two going. In the first 2 finals yesterday, they both bowled 2 at the top and 2 at the end. They've both bowled 3 at the top this time, but it's not going to be bowled out, Shadman Khan. It's going to be Bashrat Ali with his little awkward left arm wobbly mediums. He's the most economical bowler yesterday. What's he got for us today? And that's what he'll do. Little dobbers. A little dob towards the stumps with the football skills, which thankfully for Bashrat Ali, he's a better bowler than he is a footballer. Heads into the pads of Dharminder, who was nowhere near it, just swinging as hard as he could. And Bashrat Ali puts it wide from 3 yards.
Yeah, I seem to remember Bashrat Ali back in September when I was there at the Roma Campanelli ground. So those of you from Roma, hello. And yeah, he was a nice tidy bowler there. He used to come on. Just watch this ball from him.
It's another cutter. It's a little leg break. Shy at the stumps, but from our angle, Sukhbir Singh was home anyway, despite the oohs and the ahs, which any good fielding team tries to get going just to put a batsman off maybe running quick singles in the future.
Yeah, nice to see some backing up this time though. There is no worry of overthrows. No, Bashrat Ali, he does get the ball up there and he makes the batsman play at every ball, which I think is important in this phase of the game.
It's nicely bowled again by Bashrat. They think of nicking a single, but maybe feeling the pressure from the noise and the chatter of the Brescia boys, who generally have been good with the field and keen to take on direct hits. They turn around and go back, and it was probably for the best. All cutters so far from Bashrat Ali, and that's what he'll do, these little off breaks and leg breaks out of the back of the hand. All sorts of varieties. That's his quicker ball, but it's actually quite a comfortable height for the pull shot, and the pull shot's played with conviction. Well, that's a desperately needed boundary off the bat. The first boundary off the bat in a long old while. The Brescia batting tent doing their best to give encouragement. Well, you can see it's short, but unlike the 2 opening bowlers, he's not actually quick enough, Bashrat Ali, that it's going to trouble you even on this pitch. So it's quite a comfortable waist height for that shot.
Yeah, definitely. It will make Sukhbir Singh feel a lot better. That'll be his first boundary. And he'd be feeling happy, a lot happier that he's found the middle of his bat and sent the ball over the ropes.
So that's a wide, and that's what you don't want to do when you've got the opposition under the cosh. Remember to get your comments firing in on the YouTube chat. Subhadeep Chakraborty says, I didn't know Brescia had a cricket club. Well, you do now, and They're not just a cricket club, they're a very good one at that. The Italian champions of 2020. That's well bowled again, and he's got him. Finally, Brescia get this first wicket. The pressure has been on throughout this opening partnership, and it's Basharat Ali, the star man of yesterday's back-to-back finals wins against Kings 11, who provides it full and straight. You miss, I hit, and the castle is finally taken siege to. And this opening partnership that has dribbled along is separated. Sukhbir Singh gone for 6 off just 12 balls. And in the 7th over, it's Basharat Ali who strikes.
Yeah, good captaining that. I think you've had your pacemen on, you've had them flustered, they've been playing and missing, looking uncomfortable. Basharat Ali comes on and he's bowling wicket to wicket. He strayed a little, played the wide after the ball that was hit for 4, but it gave Sukhbir maybe a little bit of confidence to come out of his crease and play some shots, and that's what we saw him do there. His first time I think either one of these batsmen had come down the wicket. He came, he missed, he's gone. Good bit of captaining.
Fascinating tactical move from Asian Latina. So Amandeep Singh, who would normally bat at 5 or 6 for them, is coming out at number 3. And he is their best 6-hitter. He's hit more 6s for them than anyone else across the last couple of seasons. And he is coming out now. The 35-year-old clearly, sent up the order with intent to have a go, get this run rate up and try and change the momentum of this match. It's quite a job for him against a very competent and capable Brescia bowling attack. We've only seen 3 4s so far and no 6s in the first 7 overs. Basharat bowling well, like he was yesterday. Here he is against Amandeep. Oh, that's a rare gift from Basharat. Just straying down leg.
It's that movement again, Michael. The ball starting on line of middle stump, but because it was a little bit shorter, you saw a fair bit of movement there from him. So he knows that if he can keep that movement in that ball, but push it up there outside the off, it'll be in his benefit.
Thudding into the pads. Lots of movement and swing off this new ball. Sometimes the problem for the 2 left armers, Basharat Ali and Faisal Shah, has been controlling that movement. You can see here, starts well outside leg, and because of that in-swing goes further towards the batsman's pads. They haven't really taken advantage of it in terms of scoring opportunities though. So he's got the breakthrough, Basharat, who's excellent yesterday. Just coming back to your comments, great to get them firing in on the YouTube chat. Luke from Belgium says, Brescia winning the toss and fielding. I hope they didn't celebrate too much last night and are fully fit for this interesting and important match. Well, they certainly are. They've played the exact same 11 that won the second final yesterday. So Ali Raza keeps his place after coming into the 11 for that game and impressing. He was the only change from the first final. KG says, this is a brilliantly dressed ground, and if it was reseeded with a grass wicket, it would be a fantastic stadium. Very good as it is. Oh, it certainly is excellent. For an artificial track, it's as good an artificial track as I've seen though. You know, cricket would always be preferred to be on grass, but it's a decent artificial track.
So we're seeing Faisal Shah to continue.
So they're bowling Shah out. This is a very aggressive move. Is it going to work? We've seen off the first ball, and Dharminder is now batting outside of his crease. He's decided he's got to come down. So you can see he's starting much further out, and that's, just look at this side on. Because he's that 1.5 yards further down, he can meet it on the half volley.
What Faisal has done, he's changed his action. He's coming now from the other side of the wicket. Here we go, look.
And again, that swung too much, and it's beaten the keeper as well. It will be 4 byes. Everything down the leg side generally given as a wide, but because it's gone the other side of the batsman, because the batsman had stepped so far away, it cruelly goes against the wicketkeeper. Not very much that Baba Hussain could really do about that one, but it goes against his tally nonetheless.
Yeah, Faisal Shah there, what he's trying to do, I think, by coming round the wicket, he's trying to angle the ball into him now, into the batsman, whereas before he was trying to angle it away, thinking he may have a bit more control. But from that one was very wayward, no chance for the keeper.
It does surprise me though. He's been so good left arm over. He was yesterday in all 8 overs he bowled across the 2 games. And again beats him, but not quite full and straight enough to get the wicket. Double teapot in frustration, hands on hips from Faisal Shah. He's just got to bowl a touch fuller. You can see again though, lots of swing off the pitch, really getting this new ball to talk. Dharminder is not in the same postcode as that. He's now got 20 off 32 balls. It's not what you would need. Unless you're a pressure fan, in which case right now, without meaning to sound cruel, you don't mind him staying out there. Well, this time, Dharminder threatened to come inside the line of the ball, then stepped away again. Taken by Yasir down the leg side this time.
Just wondering whether one of the tactics here, or the thinking from Asian Latina and their captain who's out there struggling, Dharminder Singh, is, okay, well, I'm going to try and stick around for as many of these 20 overs, which is why they've promoted Amandeep to go up the order to start blasting the ball away. That could be a thought process, but he's not looking confident in any department of the batting. He's not even rotating to strike the singles. So he's, well, dot balls are just piling up.
Oh, again he beats him. Comes off the inside edge. Fielded by the firecracker, Ali Raza. Just too good, Faisal Shah, and yet somehow he's going to end this spell wicketless. Just watch again. Just held that one back a bit. Got the inside edge Chinese cut. As it's now down to fine leg for 1. And I'm sure that he'll be very happy to be at the non-striker's end for the last ball of Faisal Shah's spell. It's the new batsman Amandeep that we'll face. Surely he's got to go for a Yorker here. Any fast bowler who's gone wicketless in their spell comes so close so many times. Does he go for the double bluff? Does he go short?
Looks like he's coming back at least over the wicket.
Oh, that's actually loose, and it's put away. What a gorgeous square drive from Amandeep Singh. Well, he's watched the 2 openers struggle, and he's come out against Faisal Shah, faced 1 ball from him, and said, what's the problem? Even leaning down on it on 1 knee. Oh, what a gorgeous cricket shot. That's as good as anything we've seen this weekend.
Nice shot. He saw the whip early, didn't he? Plays a shot and then stays down there for the photographers to take the pictures as well.
Hold the pose. Didn't he just? It's the first ever weekend of Italian domestic cricket being televised ever, and it's your moment in the sun. So Faisal Shah gets his figures damaged right at the end, but deserves a lot of credit for a really good spell of fast bowling. The decision to bowl him out has arguably been vindicated, albeit without taking wickets, by the very tight economy rate. 4 overs, 14 runs conceded. Basharat Ali to continue. Got the breakthrough in his first over. The field spreads. We are, of course, well out of the power play now, but it's actually been so tight anyway that they haven't been putting many boundary riders out. Oh, this has gone very, very, very high. It's going to take some catching in the covers. Taken. Basharat gets his second. And another wicket falls. Taken by Ataullah. Went as high as it went long, this. You can see he's on it very, very early. Just ends up scooping the ball in the air. And a really disappointing, unfluent innings from the Asian Latina captain Dharminder Singh comes to an end. He'll be mightily frustrated. 21 off 35 balls. And Asian Latina 2 down now as Charanjit Singh walks to the wicket.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking maybe the plan from the captain was to stick around and let the others play the shots. Certainly we saw Amandeep play a beautiful one at the end of that last over. But the captain obviously not following his own tactics, going for shot there from Basharat Ali, and Basharat, well, picking up his second wicket, showing that all you got to do is get the ball right up there, make them play. You hit.
You hit?
Yeah, you hit, but you got to hit it well. You miscue it, I've got you. And that's exactly what we did there. Good bowling from Basharat Ali.
I like the reversion of the normal you miss, I hit. Amandeep gets this off the inside edge. He didn't really get all of this, but he's given it enough clout. They'll come back for 2. Muscled away. Amandeep, their best 6-hitter, and sent up the order to try and get the run rate going. So shots like this are exactly what he's been sent out to do. It's a bit bottom-handed. He was on it a touch early, but hit it low into the ground. Nicely held back by Basharat. Beats Amandeep. That's a good response to the aggressive shot the previous ball.
Yeah, and the captain doing his job as well. He's knowing that Amandeep's going to play his shot, and to him there is a man sweeping on this offside boundary.
Well, he was excellent yesterday, Basharat Ali. He was man of the match in game 1. Again, just sticking to that wicket-to-wicket line. They can only get through single into the covers. 2 for 19 in game 1 against Kings 11. Comfortably the most economical bowler in that innings. Kings had actually made a very quick start, and it was Basharat who came on and got out the dangerous Malkeet Singh, then picked up Jagmeet as well, the 2 top scorers in that innings. And game 2, game was very economical. He's got protection out straight, likes to bowl full and straight, and then dare the batsman to hit them over his head for 6 in the V. Easier said than done. Just short and wide. It's uncharacteristic of him. That's his second wide today. He doesn't normally bowl many.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of movement, and I think if he just can push it outside the off, I mean, he's already got 2 wickets. I think you find that line will be far more successful for him.
Oh, that's a full-on left-arm wrist spin ball from Basharat Ali. Well, he really is going for his variations. We didn't see this yesterday. Get another look at his wrist action here. It almost caught out the batsman, who actually adjusted very nicely to this challenge. He played it well in the end, but you can see just how it comes back towards his body. Jumped and got nice and high on the ball to hit it down on his tippy toes. Ataullah going out now for that shot. They've changed the field now. Scoring opportunities on the leg side as he's pulled away. Something's distracted batsman Amandeep. The sweeper's out at 3rd man. Deep point. Long on, long off, and fine leg. There's a big old gap on the leg side if he fancies going for the cross-batted swipe, but that's what Basharat Ali wants you to think. Oh, he's gone inside out over cover, but he hasn't got enough of it, and it's dropped. That's a poor drop from Shadnan Khan. You'd expect a cricketer of his quality to take that catch. That's not what you need when you've got the opposition on the ropes anyway. It is a desperately needed piece of luck for Asian Latina. Amandeep Singh gets a life.
Yeah, a man of that quality. He did the hard work, he got under it, and in the end tried to snatch it. Ball goes down, and a lifeline for Amandeep. But what these 2 batsmen need to do, and I haven't seen it, a lot of it from the team at the moment, they need to rotate the strike, they need to take the singles. They're just looking to play the big shots now, and they're going to be guilty of, in that approach, too many dot balls. Take the singles, rotate it, because the fielders at the moment, the fielding team, Russia, they're looking comfortable.
Tactical change. Spin into the attack for the last over before the halfway point. The captain Kulub Sajjad is going to bowl it. Bowled 3 overs for 23 in the first final yesterday against Kings 11. But he didn't bowl himself in the second final because the seam bowlers that they've got were doing such a good job that he felt like he wasn't required, and he felt like against that attack and that team it didn't fit, which makes me a touch surprised he's decided to bowl himself here because fast bowlers have been going well. Here he goes. It's a good start though, Kulub Sajjad. At least if it goes wrong, he can't blame anyone but himself.
Very nice man. I had a quick chat with him. He was saying he wanted to restrict Asian Latina to around 90 runs. That's what he was thinking.
He backs them as a bowling team. A strong bowling side, Brescia. And again, just a quicker ball pushed through outside the off stump. Lovely start this from Sajjad. They've got plenty of options. He's really held that one back. Chopped away to deep cover. They think of 2. Was possibly there, but decided in the end not to take on Baba Hussain.
Yeah, this is where Yasir Nawazi, the wicketkeeper, comes into play. Standing up to the spinner. Challenging the batsman to move outside the crease to play their shots.
It's a bit too short, and it could be worked into the gap easily enough by Charanjit. These two just feeling their way in. That's straight at point. Fielded by Ahmad Alam, and we'll see later on opening the batting. Made a half century in the first final yesterday. Can he exit this over, make it boundaryless? Well, he's gone for the big shot, aware of the lack of boundaries, and he's got it, a much needed 4. Amandeep Singh, known as the best 6-hitter in this Asian Latina side, starts to open his shoulders. That's his second boundary. He has 13 off 11, and at the halfway stage, they're 56 for 2. These two attempting to rebuild after a pretty pedestrian start by Dharminder Singh and Sukhbir Singh, who are both gone now. And it should be said as well, we're having to face some high-class fast bowling from Faisal Khan and Shadnan Khan. It's going to be interesting to see how they rotate their bowlers now, though, because Faisal's bowled out. Shadnan's only got 1 left. Basharat has bowled 2 from the equestrian end. Will continue now to bowl his 3rd. They've got Ali Raza, the firecracker. But now Basharat will bowl his 3rd. They've got 6 bowling options, which does help their versatility and flexibility. Pushes that one through Basharat, and it's a misfield. Not what you want when you've got the opposition under pressure. Tidied up by Faisal Shah.
So talk to me about this firecracker. So where's that? What's that all about?
He's well, it's just a self-explanatory nickname. He gets very pumped up when he bowls. He loves to send off. He loves to give advice to an umpire about what should and shouldn't be a why, shall we say. There's times where he has had warnings from match referees in the past. He's been a bit of a match referee's favourite, which obviously we don't condone bad behaviour towards umpires, but he's got a bit of white line fever. He's Basharat. Full. That's into the gap at mid-wicket. Won't be caught. Well, it looks like a careless swing of the bat, but there was some logic behind it because he knew where the gap was, Amandeep Singh. And when Basharat has the field spread, there isn't many, but he knew his gap was deep mid-wicket. That's where he was trying to hit, going inside the line. And then, as you can see, using those wrists to try and flick it away through there, because had he gone through long on or long off, he would have been caught. Nicely bowled again from Basharat Ali. And if you missed him yesterday, you're already getting a sense of what you get from Basharat. Just nibbly, always at you, and that was his little off-cutter. Remember, of course, that with a left armour, the off-cutter's going to go away from the right-handed batsman. And that's the one that comes back, and it misses leg stump by inches. Well, if I had £1 for every time the ball has gone between the batsman's pad and leg stump today, I wouldn't be a millionaire, but I'd have enough for it to buy myself a nice meal tonight. Look at this. It cuts back, jags back, very deliberately done from Basharat. It's done him all ends up.
That was just too good, wasn't it? Too good.
And that one's pushed through, thuds into the pad, they'll get a single. Leg bye to the total. It's worth mentioning at this point, that is the 6th left leg bye and extras, including those 4 overthrows, which led to 5 leg byes from one ball. Extras have contributed 15 of this total. Oh, that's the one that just drifts away. And they can't find an answer to Basharat at the moment. He's got them under a spell. 2 for 16 for him from his 3 overs. With 11 gone, it's 60 for 2. Again, that one that just drifts. Doesn't quite get the outside edge. He's going really well.
Absolute quality, pure class. And these batsmen, for me, they're missing out on the ones on the legs, which top quality players, anything that drifts on the legs is put away, dispatched. They haven't been able to do that with anything on the legs. And also, as Basharat Ali has pointed out so many times with his bowling, anything outside the off stump, they haven't been able to cut the ball away either. So most of those runs are only coming to balls that are wicket to wicket.
Sajjad continues, went for 6 off his first. That's nicely bowled again in that awkward back of a length. Even going back in his crease to try and manoeuvre some space. Mandeep not able to make anything happen. Really good tight bowling this. And that is a little bit straighter, bouncing up in towards his body. It's a single out to the sweeper. Well, there's no such thing as really a spinner bowling a bouncer, but you can bowl as close to a bouncer as a spinner can on this pitch, because it really does leap up. It's Fuller, just prodded away by Charanjit. Plenty of encouragement from the Brescia fielders, and why not? Now stepping away, Charanjit, now stepping in. Bit of fancy footwork, and that's put the bowler off. They'll only get one though. Brilliantly fielded by Naveed Chowdhury, coming round on the square leg rope in front of us. Just have a look at that footwork. So had he missed it, he was plumb LBW, no doubt about it. But Charanjit's decided he's got to try and put the spinner off, and it did work there. That footwork led to him getting a juicy full toss. So that's another 1 to the total. Fielded by Manny, who we've, pardon me, it is giving us a wide, so it's 2 wides. And I've got Rico here to keep me sane. That reminds me, we haven't seen Manny with the ball yet at all. They've got so many options. So there's Imran Naveed and Ali Raza the Firecracker. Both of them haven't even been used yet. Both of them were excellent when they were used yesterday. Steps across again, and this time thumps it down the ground. It would have been one heck of a catch. It's shelled. It has stayed inside the boundary line though, fortunately for Brescia. And I think a nasty shoulder injury has been picked up in the process. Charanjit, look at the bat speed there to get it straight down the ground. 27-year-old thumping it. And the fielder did get there, trying to take a tough low catch. He's soldiering on, but he was grabbing his shoulder. It looked painful.
Yeah, Faisal Shah was the man out there. Good effort from him.
Decently bowled again, and well, he's got to find something different there, Charanjit, to that length ball outside off. He keeps trying to knock it into the offside and ends up knocking it straight to point, and the dot balls just pile up. So end of the 12th over, and Asian Latina are 65 for 2. Just to remind you as well of our exclusive announcement from yesterday, which is that from tomorrow onwards, got an exciting new partnership with SportsFlip. You can go to sportsflipglobal.com and use the promotion code CRICKET to get 50% off your first month. All of the European Cricket Series action from Monday onwards will be over on SportsFlick, or if you're in the subcontinent, it will be on Fan Code. Of course, you can keep an eye on all of your fantasy picks as well if you're that way inclined, but if you're outside the subcontinent, then SportsFlick will be the place to watch. Live games will not be on ecn.cricket anymore. Basharat bowls, finds the outside edge, single down to third man. So sportsflipglobal.com, place to go to watch the European Cricket Series 2.0 in Rome from Monday onwards. Of course, the first one was for a week at the start of September, but ecn.cricket and europeancricket.com, europeancricket.com, the newer version of it. Basharat comes in again, short, and that is a top edge. And he's got fortunate here. Fortune favours the brave, and Charanjit Singh's been sent up the order to have a go. And he is having a go. Basharat just dropping short, which is a medium pace that don't really want to do. Charanjit coming a long way down the pitch, deciding that he had to have a go at it. 70 for 2.
Yeah, Basharat Ali seeing him move early, bangs that one in, but finding the batsman getting an edge, racing away. These two batsmen have to take charge now. You know, we're coming to a point with 7 to go.
Just holds that one back, and it was nicely adjusted to by Charanjit. Finds the single into the offside.
Yeah, they've got to take charge. They've got to play some shots now. This wicket's in hand. At this rate, they're not going to put a big enough target on the board. You mentioned Amandeep is a big hitter, but we need to see some of that big hitting right now.
Oh, just holds this one back, and it's induced a full shot. It should be caught. Oh, it's dropped straight through the hands. Basharat trusted his fielder, and maybe he could have done it himself. It's dropped by Ahmad Alam. It's a regulation drop. Their second of the innings, Brescia. Normally very good in the field. Basharat Ali should have had a third wicket here. Instead, it is a second life for Amandeep Singh. Nicely bowled again from Basharat in the very final knockings of his spell. Last ball for him here. Does he go for the Yorker? Try and pick up his third wicket.
Well, he's been unfortunate. He could have had 4, couldn't he? Don't forget the earlier drop from Shadnan Khan as well. Can he pick one up with his last ball?
Well, instead it's worked nicely enough for a single. So Charanjit will keep the strike. He has 12 off 12. Asian Latina just behind a runner ball as we enter the final 7 overs. So if they can go at 10s from here, they will get to, my mental maths says, 144. If they could find a way to go at 2 a ball, which would really be quite something, that would get them 158. Now, they told us beforehand, having been sent in. They'd want 160, and they're going to need 2 a ball to get there now, which seems quite unlikely. Qulub Sajjad to continue. He's only conceded 12 from his 2, so it's understandable the captain wants to keep himself going.
Yeah, I can see them taking him on here. They have to. It's got to be a charge.
Short again, and I mentioned that little dab shot that Charanjit keeps playing. It's not played with any real conviction, and even if he gets any bat on it, it's going to be a dot ball to the fielder at short point. Decides he's got to come down now, he's got to go for it, he does, and it works. 1 bounce 4. Lovely shot from Charanjit Singh. He's been sent up the order to get on with it. In fact, pardon me, need another test for my prescription. It's a 6 in fact. Meets it on the half volley and bullets this straight. You can see the footwork there. Gets himself right to the pitch of the ball. Oh, we were demanding more aggressive intent from him. That is certainly what's needed. He decides not to go again. Instead looks for the single. That flick shot down to short third man. Good aggressive fielding from Manny. Definitely not one there. Another dot ball. Good spell this from Sajjad. Pressure very much on. That's a single, so Charanjit ticks things along. Clearly decided, having got the maximum for the over, is quite content to knock it around. Short, back of a length, cross-batted swipe, finds deep cover, and that will be 1 to finish off the 14th. Well, they did get the maximum in that over from Charanjit, but the 3 dot balls somewhat undid the good work that had been done, so they only actually end up taking 8 runs from it. Worth reminding you, just going back to what I mentioned about Sportsflick being the place to watch tomorrow if you're not in the subcontinent, or fan code if you are in that part of the world. Of course, we've got 8 teams for the second ECS here in Rome. 27 games of T10 action, and across the next year on Sportsflick or fan code, depending on your territory, there'll be around 1,000 games of European Cricket Series. Well, it just doesn't stop, does it, Rico? So we've got a change in the bowling, and it is a man who I'm very excited to see getting a whirl finally. Sahil Aliraza, the firecracker. Tall, fast, loves a bouncer, and immediately he's beckoning half of his fielders to get behind square of the wicket on either side, because where else would you want them with the line and length that he tends to bowl? Something has got to give here.
Well, is it going to be the firecracker, or are the batsmen going to start the fireworks themselves? The batsmen need to. They need to get to the score they've been talking about. So it's going to be a good contest.
It's a bold move, this, because he doesn't often bowl at the death. Normally Faisal Shah and Shadman Khan would come back to finish off. Here is Aliraza, and he starts with a short ball. As predicted and advertised, he might have got him caught at square leg. He has got him caught at square leg. Immediately into the action, and he happily stands right in front of the batsman and raises his arms aloft in delight. Sahil Aliraza bangs it in, uses the facilities. It's the in-swinger as well, so it's coming right towards the batsman, and all Amandeep Singh could do was frantically try and pull it away. Got his fielder in just the right place though. Catch nicely taken, nicely judged, although it was a regulation one. And the fireworks strikes immediately.
Yeah, so the batsmen tried the fireworks, but it weren't to work. They know they've got to get a move on. And again, just demonstrating once more that anything that's outside the off stump, anything that's on the leg, the batsmen so far haven't been able to capitalise. I mean, that shot, if he had rocked back and played it on the offside behind point, that was where that should have been going. Tried to do too much with it. It was very, very unlikely that he was going to get a good bat onto that to clear the man that had been positioned there, particularly to take that dismissal. So good thinking from the captain from Berkshire.
Well, it's fascinating that having got into a big game like this, an ECL 21 playoff, they've gone against their normal playbook. Shadnan Khan and Faisal Shah are always bowling at the death, but now it's this man. Does he go for another bouncer? No, he goes for the Yorker, and just too much swing on it. They'll get the leg by, backed up by the long on field and Manny. So we'll stick at 1. It's all happening out there. You can see here, he's trying to hit the poles, just gets too much on it. Instead thuds into that pad. So this now brings the new batsman, Hashmat Dinsa, onto strike. And well, this is going to be interesting because Hashmat Dinsa is nicknamed the Bull, or El Toro, because he loves to thrash his hands at everything. So it's the firecracker against the Bull. Who do you fancy, folks? Oh, there's a grunt as well, and it's edged over the keeper for 4. Well, it's no surprise that the Bull is going to have a go at this, and that's exactly what he's done. Sahil Ali giving it everything. Was in the slot. Was a wild swing of the bat. They've looked ugly on hotspot, but it's 4 in the scorebook.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got some pace, hasn't he, Ali Raza? I'm impressed with his pace. And also at this late stage, I mean, the ball, in fairness, hasn't had too much bat on it. Still moving around quite well. So if he can get it in the right areas and just a little bit short ball got in the wicket, that was short as well. If he can get it right up there, he's going to be difficult to manoeuvre.
Goes pretty short again. He's tracked this one down the pitch to try and create something, Dinsa. He's lucky it plugs in front of the long off fielder. Re-rehearses the shot that he was trying to play. I think he was actually looking for the vacant gap at cover and extra cover, Dinsa. But he was on it so early that instead it ended up going through long off. That's beautifully bowled again by Ali Raza. Bit of a celeb appeal there, sort of Stuart Broad style. You can just see here how he follows through. Ali Raza beats the outside edge, thinks he might have got a nick on it for a second, and goes for the celeb appeal, a term coined by a few, but it's commonly associated with the England fast bowler Stuart Broad, where the bowler sort of celebrates and then remembers they need to appeal. Does it slightly in the wrong order. Oh, again, it's very good from Ali Raza. Beats Charanjit. Well, I promised you there'd be things happening when he comes on to bowl. There certainly has been. We've had an over with a bit of everything. Wickets and wild swipes that he's induced. The adrenaline's up from both batsman and bowler. Look at how far down he's come down the pitch there, Charanjit. Which it's difficult enough to face pace off 22 yards. Never mind when you're shortening the reaction times even further, Rico.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the best bet here again, though, is from the batsman. Generally, then you see taking the charge. Well, they're not pitching the ball up. It's short of length. You've got to stay in the crease and manoeuvre the ball around. And if you're going to swing hard at a point where you know you're going to make contact. No slips in place. We've already seen one edge go for 4. If that's going to be the best bet to find the boundaries that are going to come at the third man or final leg area, well, fair enough. But coming down the track to try and play, it's not going to help them. A little bit of a debate going on there from the Berkshire team, probably deciding who's bowling, what the game plan is, how they're going to utilise the bowlers for the remaining overs to come.
As I mentioned earlier, they've got plenty of options. So Kulab Sajjad, the captain, has decided he's had enough of himself. So Sajjad comes off now. Sajjad conceding 20 off his 3 overs, which is very decent in this format. Dinsa facing up to Imran Naveed. Manny, as he's nicknamed. Dinsa takes the single. or the Bull as he's also known, and that brings Charanjit onto strike. He was sent up to have a hit at number 3, hasn't really got going, and it hasn't worked. We've seen one mighty 6 from him, but he's actually got 19 off 20 balls. It's not what they'd have wanted. Quicker ball from Naveed, and that's what they need from Charanjit. Short and wide, but it's got to be put away, and it was put away with conviction. He knew where his gap was, knew that there was a deep point out, but if he just waited for it and waited for it, and sent it on its merry way. 4 more.
Yeah, that's better from him. That's what I was talking about. Stay inside your crease, get in line with the ball, and give it a good old flash with the bat. Use your wrist, get on top of it, guide it through those areas. When you've got pace on the ball, you can do that. Berkshire maybe be looking at this and thinking, okay, if that's what they're going to do, should we take the pace off? They'll look around to see who they've got that can do that.
12th man Sarabjit Singh just providing a change of bat for the Bull. Only faced 3 balls, he's already called for a change of bat. And Naveed bowls, it's just flicked away. Knows that there's so many deep set sweepers. Single into the leg side. Luke on the stream says my final guess is that Brescia will win. They have been the side in better form. Beats him. Well, the Bull calls for a change of bat, but there's only so much one can blame the equipment. Definite win for Naveed there. El Toro has got to find a response to this nasty fast bowling attack. Bowling plenty of short stuff at him. Oh, this is skied up in the air. Totally mistimed it, the Bull. But good quick running. They'll come back for 2 and they'll get there. Well, they were alert to the possibility of it as soon as it came off the bat. It is a good-sized ground here. Not one of these 50-metre boundaries, postage stamp grounds that people might remember from the Manga ground at ECL 2019 or other grounds. Boundaries are significantly bigger than that, so if the sweepers are on the rope, there is 2 available. If you go quickly, and the Bull did there, charged around to get the second.
Do you think he bats better, the Bull, with the red ball opposed to the white? You know, just taking his name into account. Do you think he charges the red ball better?
I can't work out if that's so bad. I think it's actually good. Oh, wow. That is one heck of a bouncer. You can't really sometimes see on your TV pictures because of the angle of the cameras just how quick he's bowling here, Imran Naveed. Got 4 proper fast bowlers in this Brescia team. There's a reason why they're known as the best bowling side on the circuit. Look at that. Well, that is hitting the Bull square on the helmet. Never mind the Bull wanting the red rags. It was Naveed who was nearly hitting the red of that helmet.
Yeah, didn't want to be charging that, did he? I'm just wondering now here, obviously Asian Latina have seen how this wicket's been playing. They've seen the line that the bowlers will be bowling. They'll be wondering if they've got that in their attack when they're in the field.
Here's the firecracker. Gets the edge, does he? No. Oh, it's the outswinger instead. It deceived me as well, so I won't blame you for celebrating that one early. Swung prodigiously. Nicely bowled again by Ali Raza, and look at how far the bat is away from the body. It's a wild swipe. Not much footwork seen at all today from any of the Asian Latina batsmen.
No, they're not capitalised on anything that's had any width.
Holds this one back and beats him in the flight. Well, this isn't just nasty fast bowling. It's properly thoughtful fast bowling. Good use of the slower ball and Ball's coming down to give a bit of advice to Charanjit. Maybe just telling him that he spotted something that Ali Raza does that's a cue. That's what you're always looking for, cues in the bowler's action for what they might be about to do. He's got protection straight. Strays down leg. Well, the keeper Yasir did well to get anything on it, but despite his little flick, because there's nobody at fine leg, it's 5 wides. He's tried that one where he pushes it towards that leg stump and towards the batsman's pads, but didn't account for starting it wide enough.
Yeah, I mean, just noticing there, the captain of Latina now, Damindra Singh, he's standing on the boundary and he's shouting all sorts of instructions to the batsman.
It can't be that complicated. There's only 3 overs after this one. Got to get on with it. Ali Raza bowls again, and he's got him. Well deserved. And the airplane is off to celebrate. The Ali Raza Express is flying along. It's his 2nd wicket today. Doesn't normally bowl at the death, but he's bowling brilliantly here at the death. Picks up his 2nd wicket in his 2nd over. It was the little in cutter, and it was just too good. Proper fast bowling from Sahil Ali Raza. And the 4th wicket goes down. The struggles of Asian Latina continue.
Well, it's all about, have they got somebody now that can come in here with overs ticking away, 3 to go after this? Can they get somebody in there that can get bat onto ball and can stand up and fight against what we've seen so far? Very, very impressive pace bowling. What have they got?
That's very fast, and fire is met with fire. It's misfielded by Naveed Chowdhury on the rope, and that is 4.
Yeah, that's Gurmukh Singh. Good hit from him first up, first ball. Bang! That's what it's about.
Should be said though, it was in the slot. It wasn't the best ball that Ali Raza will bowl all weekend. That's the problem. If you are a fast bowler and you just bowl quick and in that sort of good length, it's there to be climbed into, and it was. 1 bounce. Naveed couldn't stop it on the rope.
Yeah, he won't pitch this one up for sure.
Well, there we go. I don't think you can quite be calling yourself a fortune teller yet, but you were spot on. Ali Raza just banging him in, just reminding the batsman who's boss around here. And Gurmukh was, as you can see, well behind where he needed to be to get bat on it.
Yeah, I think Sahil Ali Raja there, the first ball he bowled to Gurmukh Singh was the attempted Yorker, which is fair play.
Short again. It's 2 leg side. And they're going to get 2 from the misfield. Well, they decide to turn back. It's probably for the best. Enthusiastically fielded. Ended up knocking it a long way away. Pulled away by Gurmukh, the wicket-keeper batsman. The fielder charging in from that boundary does just enough to prevent the 2nd. So with just 3 overs left, Asian Latina are comfortably short of where they'd want to be. 106 for 4. Now there's only 3 overs left. They've used 6 bowlers so far. Shadnan Khan can come back for 1, and having gone for just 14 off his first 3, I'd be surprised if he doesn't. And then they've got to find 2 overs. They could bowl Ali Raza out from the equestrian end, having already bowled his first couple, or they could bring Imran Naveed back on to bowl 1 more. He's already bowled 1 so far that's gone for 8. My inclination would be to bowl Shadnan Khan out. They've decided they're going to bowl him out. Oh no, they're continuing with Mani, pardon me. They did think about it. Shadnan Khan had come across as if he was going to bowl his 4th, but Imran Naveed continues. Beats the bat. So one would imagine given that Shadnan Khan has bowled from the far end throughout yesterday and today. Naveed will bowl his second now. Khan will come back to bowl his fourth and final over as the last over of the innings from that end. And that will leave one over from the equestrian end to be filled in. And for entertainment value, if nothing else, I'd be disappointed if Ali Raza doesn't continue.
Gurmukh Singh's got to use his feet here.
Oh, it's another bouncer, and that is a wide. Well, that was actually missing the helmet of Gurmukh Singh because it was too high and too far down leg. Just going well past head height. Side on will give us another look. Very difficult to hit that. Full, well dug out. Get one out to long off. Really pushed the running for the second. The ball's been pretty aggressive between the wickets so far, but that time he's content to take the single and say, no, I'll have the strike. I'll see what I can do. One feature of this innings has been batsmen getting in, occupying a lot of deliveries and then getting out before actually pushing on. Can the ball finish it off in style? Makes some room, but again he's not able to catch up with it. Just too quick, and in the blink of an eye the ball is with Yasir. He's now got 8 off 7, the ball. Gurmukh has 6 off 5. Nobody's really managed to get on top of this pressure attack. In fact, the 3 batsmen who've all made scores of significance have all done so at less than a run a ball. This is whacked leg side by the ball, and it's the first 6 of the innings.
Balle, 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 that one. Banged it in. Wasn't the most authentic of shots, but he managed somehow to get enough on it. 6 runs, so that's nice to see. Right on cue. They really do need to accelerate here. Good shot.
Well, he was in position very early, and he had to check and hold himself and then sort of try and scoop it round the corner. Of course, Charanjit Singh did hit that excellent straight 6 off the spinner Sajjad earlier on, so it's the second maximum in fact. That's full, that's in the slot, and that's a lovely shot from the ball. The ball taking the fight to it, treating it like a red rag and giving it a thump. He then thumps his pad in excitement afterwards because the adrenaline's up. And why wouldn't it be? This is the cleanest shot we've seen all innings. Whack. Out towards the players' dugouts. Back-to-back 6s. Well, we asked if he could provide the power-packed finish they need. He's certainly giving it a punch. There's 1 ball left in this 18th over. Now, does he go again for 3 in a row? Or does he just take a single and keep the strike?
No, he's got to go again. And it's the first time we've seen Berkshire having to think about field placing to move people around. The first time any bit of pressure has been applied on him. So the ball here, certainly finding his rhythm eventually. He's taken time. He's going to want to send another one packing for sure.
Oh, the ball goes again, and this will be 6 more. It's not where he wanted it to go, but who cares? A huge top edge over fine leg. Well, he was trying to hit it through square leg, I think. Comes right off the top of the bat. Fighting fire with fire. 6-6-6 from El Toro. The bull is charging around here in Rome. And after they'd been so well contained, Asian Latina have broken the shackles, and who else would it be to do them? The man they call the Bull. 6-6-6 to finish the 18th. Suddenly Hazmat Dinsa has 26 off 10, and with 2 overs left, 150 is back in sight.
Yeah, that was a top over for them, quality. Okay, the last one. Wasn't anything authentic about it, but it's what I've been saying. Get into line, get back onto ball, give it a good swing. So pressure a little bit for the first time on Borussia.
Ali Raza, the firework. Oh, now it's the party being joined in with by Gurmuk. Gets a decent connection, but it's probably happy enough with the single because it gets the bull onto strike. There's protection out straight, long on and long off. There's a deep mid-wicket, a deep cover and a deep third man. 6-3 offside field, so the firecracker's really got to be on or outside the off stump here to the ball. Oh, that's in the slot though, and that is hammered straight. That's out towards the cow paddock and the horses equestrian centre. Goes and fetches it right by the fencing, and that is 4 sixes in a row from the bull. 3 in a row at the back end of the previous over, and you can see Imran Naveed just turns around with a sigh and a frown and says, well, says to himself, better start the 20-yard troop to get the ball and fetch it back.
Well, there's Shabas all around the ground now, obviously coming from the Asian Latinas. They've woken up. That was a top shot, quality.
Well, it seemed like they were going to be so short of 150. Now it's all changing ball by ball here. He gets lucky again. This will skip away towards the fine. The fence is kept back. They're going to come back for 2, and they will get back. Well, I say sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is to be good. You can see here yet again it comes off the top edge of the bull's bat. And there's something about that bat, Rico. Every time he gets it high on the bat and off the top edge, it always goes in a gap and it always goes for runs. This time it is cut off though. So 6-6-6-6-2 from his last 5 faced. Ooh. Well, there was a fair bit of movement there from the bull. Hasmat Dinsa trying to put the firecracker off. And in the end, Ali Raza pulled out and said, you know what, I'm going to have another go. Bit of mind games.
We've seen him do it earlier. He does it with his legs. He does a little bit of the Bruce Grobbler with his knees. Look, here we go, watch.
He's moving again. Oh, that's a very good Yorker. And if this is well fielded, there shouldn't be 2, and there won't be 2 out to Bashrat Ali. The ball loses the strike. It's now up to Gurmuk Singh. Singh has to make a decision himself here. So 2 balls left in the over. Does he go for the boundary option? Or does he try and take a single to give the ball back the strike? I think at this stage you can't really be thinking like that.
Nah, it's got to be looking for the ropes, or sending it over the ropes ideally.
Very full. On the half volley, met by Gurmuk. Single out to Bashrat, an extra cover. So 1 ball left. Is he thinking of keeping the striker? I would imagine, given the way the adrenaline's up, that he might only be thinking of trying to keep hitting this ball as hard as he possibly can. Oh, it's a slow ball held back, well bowled. And the ball was through it so early here, Dinsa. Well, we'll see it on the replay. Just look at how easily and brilliantly he was deceived. He swung almost literally off his feet. And it's a rare dot ball for Hashmat Dinsa in this innings. He now has 35 of just 14, including 4 consecutive 6s at 1 point. So 137 for 4. Think they'll get 150?
I think they will, and I also thought just interesting what Kulub Saj would be thinking, because remember when we spoke to him, 80-90 is what he was saying he wants to restrict them to, whereas it was Damindra Singh who said no, we want 150. So at the moment he'll be the happier of the 2 captains.
So Ali Raza will finish with 2 for 26 from his 3 overs. Imran Naveed, unsurprisingly, having conceded 20 from his 2nd over, is withdrawn. And as predicted, Shadnan Khan will come on to finish off. He only conceded 14 from his first 3 overs, including a maiden against Latina captain Dharminder Singh. Another thing that is an interesting dynamic is that Asian Latina have never played on this pitch before. One wonders how much of a difference that's made. Shadnan to start the final over. It's an ugly full toss, and it's met by a pretty ugly shot as well. And the fielding is similarly poor. The running between the wickets is pretty much the only thing that comes out of that ball with any credit at all, as Kermack picks up 2.
I was surprised that they took the second. I thought perhaps the ball would have wanted to fancy the next 5 balls. Certainly a full toss to him would have been sent packing. But anyway.
Ball short. It's met by Gurmukh. And it's a 1 bounce 4 in front of us in the commentary box. Well, Gurmukh Singh has played second fiddle but finally joins the party. Really did bang this one in, Shadnan. Gurmukh met it well enough, top edged, but got lucky. It's his second boundary. He now has 14 off 9 balls. Partnership now worth 42. Desperately needed, it has been as well. Fuller, and met again brilliantly, and brilliantly caught! Oh, what a catch! Just picking an apple out of a tree. Made it look so simple when it really was not. Just stuck his right hand out. The captain leading by example. Gurmukh Singh makes room, and he absolutely clatters it. And well, why go with 2 hands when you can go with 1? Kulub Sajjad just sticks out his right hand, jogs across, gets it in his palm, says thank you very much, yes I do this every week, and then goes off and celebrates.
They either stick or they don't. The interesting point for me to look out for there was, did the batsman manage to cross? From what I'm seeing and where the bull is standing, they didn't. So Hashmat Dinsa is going to be stranded here at the moment at the non-striker's end. He and his team will want him to be on strike. So it's looks like Gagandeep Singh is the man who's been sent out, and has he got what it takes?
Gurdeep Singh coming out to bat.
Apologies, yeah, Gurdeep Singh.
With number 18 on his back, the all-rounder. Turns 24 in a couple of weeks. What can he do? That's well bowled. They think of the bye. Misses on the direct hit, and it goes through out to long on. Well, in fact, it was stopped by the bowler. A bit of chaos, confusion, stumps flying. All going on here. Swing and a miss from Gurdeep. Yasir goes to have a shy. Misses, and he gets very fortunate that it hits that end stump, because otherwise it would have been an overthrow, no doubt.
They wouldn't have taken it, Michael. This man wants it.
The ball. He's only got it straight in front of long on. They're calling for it to go for 2. He's surely going to be out. Well, he's run out. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, the keeper, Yasir's had a nightmare, and they do get through for the second in the end. What an absolute mess that was. The bull sent Gurdeep back because he said there's no chance of a second, until Yasir Nawaz had a moment he will want to forget that, unfortunately for him, has been televised for the world to see. Should have executed the run out. Now, last ball. The bull on strike. Goes really deep in his crease. Only hits him on the pad though. Shabnan content to allow the single. And that will be that on this chaotic 20 overs that's finished with this very exciting partnership led by El Toro, the bull, Hashmat Dinsa. 4 sixes in a row off his bat at 1 point. 147 for 5, the final total. Dinsa has more than played his role. 37 of just 15 balls as we have a look at the highlights of the innings. Shurat Ali was excellent in the middle overs, as he so often is for this Brescia side. 2 for 24 off 4 overs. He's the most economical bowler in the 2 finals yesterday, and he was at it again today. That was Basharat's second wicket. He could have had even more. That one taken at cover. Dismissed Dharminder Singh, who managed just 21 off 35 balls after Ullah taking the catch. Was a couple of mistakes from Brescia in the field. Amandeep Singh was given 2 lives before he eventually fell. Caught by Ataullah off Ali Raza. The firework, who was straight into the action here with that wicket to dismiss Amandeep. Caught on the pull at square leg. He doesn't normally bowl at the death, but he bowled really well in that unusual position for him today, Ali Raza. Was a few wides, and Brescia will be disappointed about that. 25 extras in the end, 13 wides. But that was Ali Raza's second wicket, a proper pitch-up nick-off. And the airplane was off into flight to celebrate. And why not? He really earned it. Charanjit Singh gone for 24 of 25. Ashmat Dinsa completely changed the dynamic of this innings. They were really struggling until he came in. When he stepped out at 101 for 4, they needed a big finish. It was to be him who gave them it. Magnificent catch by Kulib Sajjad there to dismiss Gurmukh Singh for 14 off 10, but Dinsa's knock is what will stick out most in the memory of this innings. 4 consecutive sixes off his bat at one point, 38 not out off just 16 balls, and that helps Asian Latina Cricket Club finish on 147 for 5. Characteristic of the innings before that was batsmen getting in but not able to go on. Dharminder Singh managing a very slow 21 off 35 where he struggled for timing. Amandeep and Charanjit scoring 19 and 24 respectively, but both not really at a pace that would remotely bother the Brescia fielding side. And then Dinsa at the end came in and cracked it around with a bit of support from Gurmukh Singh. And so it is the Bull who has got Brescia a challenging target to chase, because at one point it was looking like they barely scraped past 100 or even the 120 mark to make it a runner-ball game. Instead, they finished on 147 for 5 off their 20 overs. In terms of the Brescia Cricket Club bowling figures, Basharat Ali, excellent as usual, 2 for 24 for him. Faisal Shah at the top, unusually bowling all of his 4 overs out from the start. Conceded just 14 runs. How he didn't get a wicket, I'll never quite know. Not necessarily drop catches, but so many half chances and LBW appeals and balls missing stumps by mere inches. Shadnan Khan with 1 for 23 from his 4. Imran Naveed was the only bowler to get a bit of tap, going for 3 consecutive sixes at one point. Ali Raza coming on did a really good job as a specialist death bowler with 2 for 26 from his 3, and the captain Sajjad was pretty tight. So ECL 2021 qualification on the line. There's only Spain still to be decided of the 16 teams who will be there after today. We're going to find out very shortly who that penultimate spot will go to. 147 for 5 on the board. And we'll be back shortly with the Brescia run chase. They need 148 to win this game between the Italian champions from the last 2 seasons. To see who will make it to ECL 2021. I'm Michael McCann, and I'll be back with Rico Full alongside me for the run chase in a few minutes' time. Welcome back to Rome for the exciting conclusion to this ECL 21 playoff match between the Italian champions of 2019, Asian Latina Cricket Club, and the champions of this season, Brescia Cricket Club, who won both domestic finals yesterday against Kings 11 to bring them here. Brescia out for the run chase after a very competitive score on this rather dicey and bouncy artificial track. It's posted for the 147 for 5. First ball of the reply. Dinsa to bowl it. Michael McCann, thank you very much for joining us on the European Cricket Network, wherever you are across the world. It will be Ahmad Alam to take strike. Yassir Nawaz is at the non-strikers. Oh, he's beaten him. That's a very good start from the ball. Oh, we saw him with the bat earlier, Hashmat Dinsa. Now he's coming straight out with the ball. He's barely had time to take his pads off. Nico Full is alongside me once again. Good afternoon or early evening. The sun setting on the far side from us. Sliding down leg. A bit of an unwanted extra from the ball.
Yeah, they've got to be careful here now in the field. Asian Latina, they'll want a good tight start, similar to what was happening with them. Good bowling, keeping them quiet. They need a good start and put some pressure on Brescia.
Again down leg. The ball just getting a bit too adrenaline filled, and you wouldn't be able to blame him after the way he batted, because he batted magnificently. 38 off just 16 balls. The comfortably standout innings of the Asian Latina batting effort. Decent shot, and that will run away for 4. First boundary of the reply from Brescia. Up and running. And it's Ahmad Khan who scored a half century in the first final yesterday. That is a lovely, clean, square drive.
अच्छा शॉट सीगा फील्डर ने कोशिश की थी पर पिच चल गया चौका हो गया right through the gap there. Good timing, good shot.
Now, what kind of a reply has the ball got? Does he go short? He certainly faced plenty of short stuff. Maybe he wants some revenge. He's back of a length. That's well bowled. He's bowling to his field here. It's a 7-2 field, so they really are trusting him on his line and length here. He's got a square leg and a mid-on. That's it. He's got his 2 fielders. Of course, first 6 overs is the power play. He's got 2 slips. He's got fielders out. Deep third man and deep point. Short ball well played with the straight bat. And this is a really bouncy track, so it's perfectly understandable that you want to block a couple of short balls and get in behind it before you start thinking about the pull shot.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's the reason why the bull has deployed a man in slip and in gully. He's looking to find the edge.
Logon's gone out now and deep points come up. It's very full. Driven nicely, didn't try and hit it too hard. It's half stopped in the covers by Gerswag. Finished off by Gurdip. They get back for 2. It's good positive running. Spotted the misfield and the chance of 2. I say misfield, he's actually done brilliantly there, diving back just to take a bit of the pace off it. Nicely bowled by the ball. Well, I think that's the vintage caught behind appeal to stop the wide. And I have a bit of sympathy with the ball here because this was actually excellently bowled. Just hangs it outside that off stump. Then the outswing takes it just past that wide line. Just fending at it. Not convincing from Ahmad Khan. Well, 22 yards can seem a long way sometimes. You might have heard on our effects mic there. I think half of this part of Rome might have heard it. Ahmad Khan saying, yeah, 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 yeah. And there was a very loud no from Yassin Nawaz, who was stood on his bat at the non-striker's end, not remotely interested.
Yeah, a couple of wides in that over, which were disappointing, but otherwise, he bowled very well. And what was interesting to see, whereas Bercia, their bowlers were getting a lot of the ball to swing in and cut into them, well, Hajnat Dansa is managing to move it away, and he's almost had his man a couple of times. I think he was a little bit hard done by one of those wides. I think the swing probably came after it and past the bat, so he was a little disappointed, but he'll come back strong. He'll be using that to his advantage.
So second over, it's Charanjit Singh to bowl it. He's been Asian Latina's top wicket taker both this season and last season, the 27-year-old. You're not going to miss him with that haircut. I am told, reliably, this is his normal hairstyle. He's bowling to Yasir Nawaz. And Yasir goes big straight away, but he might well have perished. He's gone for a golden duck. It's the big wicket. The celebrations tell you all you need to know. He's the one they really wanted. Batted well in both finals yesterday. And Brescia's big hitter at the top of the innings has perished for a golden duck. A huge moment in this final. He's the one batsman in this 11 they'd really, really want to get early. He takes the catch out there, Sukhbir Singh, and immediately runs in to start the celebrations. Big moment. And the catch is taken. And Yasir Nawaz is gone.
Well, the celebrations told the story, didn't they? Celebrations there when that catch was finally taken by Sukhbir. It was a pressure moment. It hung around in the air a long time. He had a lot to think about while he was up there, but he took the catch sweetly, got the big man out, and the celebrations, well, rightly so. Is that going to be the wicket that's going to turn this game around?
Well, I was mentioning to you mid-innings, just as we were having a chat waiting to come back on air, that Yasir Nawaz had been Brescia's most impressive batsman yesterday, and you said to me, well, we'll wait and see if he can repeat it today. We didn't get to see that, but the celebrations told you all about how valuable a wicket they know that he is. And he's gone. It's alarm facing because they crossed. Wide ball from Charanjit.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with that, the bowler. He's just got a prize wicket. Gets a new man.
It's often the case. The adrenaline's up. Just have to recompose yourself. Game always looks easy from the commentary box, though.
Yeah. Oh dear, that's even wider.
Again, he's just lost his rhythm here. It's a release point. He's someone that's known for having a slightly slingy action. And he came very, very side on here. Caused it to go even further outside that off stump. Just going to rein himself back in. And beats him. That's a lovely response. Can be the trickiest thing sometimes, oddly as a batsman, in a different way, rather than facing a bowler bowling consistently. Someone whose one ball is down leg, one's outside off, one's an absolute peach. Trying to keep focused. That's nicely bowled again, leaps up. I enjoyed the squeal there of how's that. Given that the ball had hit him in his midriff and bounced immediately down, I would be fascinated to know what mode of dismissal was being appealed for there. I think it was the classic, I've just bowled a good ball and I'm really excited, which we've all done it in village cricket once upon a time.
I've beaten you there, buddy. Nice to see that Ahmed Alam, he is batting outside his crease.
It's a courageous move. Nice. Good drive. He's picked out the cover fielder. Stopped by Dharminder, who himself struggled with the bat today. This is a brand new wicket, only installed in the last couple of months. And it's played very impressively. Artificial wickets sometimes don't have a great reputation. It's outside off, that's his channel. Halfway between the off stump and the wide line. Bowling to his field, which is 6-3 field. He hasn't got much margin of error if he strays onto the pads of Ahmed Alam. Hope that he's still got some luck left today, Ahmad Khan. He was dropped 3 times yesterday in his half century in that first final. Oh, that's a good shot from Ahmad Khan. Sweeper's out there, but he won't get there. Straight back, well timed. And that is a badly needed boundary for Brescia. Trying to rebuild after that early loss of Yasir Nawaz. Khan's second boundary, he's into double figures.
That was a beautiful shot. Footwork was lovely. Knew exactly what he's doing, and I think that's the benefit. That's one thing we were commentating on with Latina, Asian Latina. Their batsmen didn't seem to move their feet. They were stranded inside their crease, and the ball was just being bowled short and short at them. Well, Ahmed Alam showing there the way to play that.
It's worth saying though, in their mitigation, so this is the first time that Asian Latina have ever played on this pitch, and reportedly it's one of the bounciest artificial tracks in Italy, and I can believe that just from what we've seen. It's one of the bounciest artificial tracks I've ever seen, I think. Meanwhile, Brescia had the benefit of playing on it twice yesterday, winning both of those domestic finals against Kings 11, so their batsmen are already well adjusted to it, and their bowlers are already adjusted to what lines and lengths will suit. Here's the ball for his second over. That's full, that's 2 full, and climbed into 4 through extra cover. That's a gorgeous shot from Shadnan Khan, who we saw impress with the ball earlier on, and now hoping to impress with the bat. That's quite a way to get off the mark. A really convincing stroke from him. It's a bit of a gimme ball, but you've got to put it away. Decent reply from the bull. Dot ball. Of course, it is the power play, so only 2 allowed out. He's got those 2 out at third man and long on. He's persisting with this 7-2 field. But of course, being a power play, Shadnan still knows there's scoring opportunities. Big LBW appeals. The fact that it was only coming from the offside fielders, not the wicketkeeper or the bowler, is normally a clue. But it wasn't much of a shout. Well, the one problem with bowling this 7-2 power play field is that it then makes it quite predictable as to where you're going to have to bowl. The batsman knows you can't afford to stray onto the pads, and so can line up a big shot through the offside, and anything in front of square on the offside that he gets a decent connection through is almost certainly 4, if not 6. That's the effort ball. It's played nicely in between point and cover for a single. Shadnan Khan has 5. Brings Ahmad Khan on to strike.
Yeah, better length that last one. He's been a little bit guilty of over pitching this over so far, but that one was bang on, short of a length.
Long on's come up, deep cover's gone out. Locks it for 1. That's good assertive running. It's one of those kind of singles that if either batsman hesitates, and the swooping fielder, Gurswak Singh, probably affects a run out, but because both of them were entirely committed, they're fine. Swing and a miss, and it will be a wide. Again, the ball just falling into that channel where the swing takes it slightly outside of what he can get away with. Umpire Samantha Katepe doing the honours. He's a bowler himself for Italy, so if anyone's going to be sympathetic, you'd think it would be him. Well, that's just inside the lines. That really is perfect. Very difficult to play. Shaping away with the outswing from the new ball. And at the end of the third over, it's 24 for 1. Just looking at the history of matches on this ground, the consensus generally is that a total of anywhere around 120, 130 is par. In the first of the two finals yesterday, Brescia chased down 152 to win against Kings 11 with just 7 balls to spare. And in the 20 matches that have taken place on this ground, that was the biggest successful run chase. And this is 148 to win, so this is a tough target for Brescia. Probably about an even game, though they do come into this match the better form of the two sides. Slower ball. Ahmed Khan content to take the single.
What a good point to make is on that score line. Is you have to remember that the majority of those runs that came quickly came in the period of about 3 overs. Up until then, we were talking about, 120 where they're going to get to in 3 overs. And so it's all about pacing your reply properly.
Saying that, we had a pedestrian power play from Asian Latina. Brescia won't want to do the same. It's too short, too wide, pardon me, too full, and dispatched. Dispatched with more elegance than my ability to describe it.
Yeah, on this wicket, what we found is anything that's been over pitched and wide has been put away for runs. So therefore, telling you straight away, or telling Asian Latina, who, as you mentioned, Michael, is a team that haven't played on this before, you need to be short of a length, or even short. You get away with a short one, but nothing over pitched.
Missed. Huge caught behind appeal from Gully, charging in. And wicketkeeper and slip and bowler all not interested. Which again suggests it's not going to be given. But really nicely bowled. They're just having to adjust their lengths here. Charanjit and Hashmat, the two opening bowlers, to this surface. It's a cutter out the back of the hand and dropped. Well, it was a tough take. It would have been a really good one from Gurmukh. Hands on hips in frustration. I'm sure his teammates, if they're feeling cruel, might save the replay at some point just to show him, but was hit very hard from Ahmad. He's come a long way down the pitch here. And then works it away. Direct hit would have been interesting. Backed up well by Gurswak Singh. Bit of daring cricket from Ahmed Khan. He clearly decided, well, I've come halfway down the pitch anyway before even hitting it, so there's one there, forgetting that partner Shadnan still had to get to the other end too. They get through in the end. Nervous moments. Already lost their big hitter Yasir Nawaz for a golden duck. Beats him. Well bowled. Just a little cutter. Shadnan didn't really pick it up off the bowler. Had a comment from Gareth Messenger in Kent. He says, why is Yasir Nawaz Brescia's best batsman? Well, I mean, I can't necessarily give you a detailed soliloquy on his entire life and times, but he's been their top run scorer this season and last season, and their top strike rate, highest strike rate scorer. I've got myself in a muddle there, you know what I'm trying to say. He scored more runs than anyone else and quicker than anybody else. And yesterday in the two finals, came out in the first one and hit 37 off 23 with 3 big sixes. And then in the second one, he hit 48 off 28. And much in the style of his batting, got out trying to get to his 50 with a maximum.
Yeah, Michael, what you're trying to say is look in the book.
He's Andy. But he's gone today for a golden duck. So, first change of the bowling. Sukhbir Singh, 34-year-old medium pacer who will trundle in. So he replaces Rashmat Dinsa, the bull, who went for 16 from his 2 overs at the equestrian end. Well, that's a good one to start. In fact, it is wided, and they take a single to first slip. That's good aggressive running. A bit wayward, in truth, from Sukhbir. Zippy medium pacer.
Ahmed Alam goes back on strike. He'll be thinking himself lucky to still be there. I think that was a straightforward drop from Gurmukh Singh. Charanjit will be disappointed he didn't have this man back in the dugout already. Better ball. Gets his line right, and all the batsman can do is just play it out to the field. The field's still very much all about the offside. We have got a man now back patrolling the boundary. Well, that's a lovely shot. Got into position so quickly. You'll see that again on your screens. Good use of his wrist. How about that? That's nicely played. That's all about getting top of the ball. Acrobatic effort from the fielder, but he's not going to stop that. 4 runs. It's an example of but the Berkshire batsmen have done well so far, where I think Asian Latina were guilty earlier on in their innings, and that's they've taken the singles. They've got bat onto ball and run their singles quickly. Good understanding between the batsmen. Cuatro más. 4 more. Beautifully played. It's going down leg. Little swivel here. Good footwork. Again, good arms. Good wrist work. 4 runs. That's easy picking for any batsman.
Yes, more runs to Brescia, who are on top of this required run rate, which is now below 7. Sukhbir Singh so far not really troubling the batsman. Pardon me. Back of a length, blocked back. And this is the problem, if you bowl medium, fast medium, and you're not really bowling the clever cutters that we saw from Basharat Ali, you haven't got that level of licorice, all sorts sort of variation, then you can be just there to go. That's what's happened so far. That's a better length from Sukhbir. Sorted his length out the last couple of balls. End of his first over. He's gone for 11. Could have actually been a lot worse than that in the end. He's pulled that back not too badly, but it's still costly. So at the end of the 5th over, Brescia are 42 for 1. Now for comparison, Asian Latina were 56 for 2 off 10. Gives you an idea of just how slowly Asian Latina started, with Captain Dharminder Singh really struggling, batting for the first time on this very bouncy artificial track. The beautiful Rome Spinagetta cricket ground. A brand new ground, and really is magnificent. Done one heck of a job here.
Yeah, they have indeed. I've had the pleasure of being in the T10 series that was in Roma Campanelli. Beautiful ground over there as well, by the racehorse. And it's a pleasure to be here at another venue Another ground here in Rome. It's good for European cricket to see these new grounds popping up, and quality grounds as well. So well done to the
Italian Cricket Federation.
Yeah, the Federation of Cricket Italia. Good work. Bravo.
Well bowled. Shabnan unable to make contact. He's got 15 off 13. He can be a really destructive hitter when he gets going, but we haven't seen it yet. This innings from Shabnan.
Usually he moves his feet quite well. That one he stayed planted. Didn't really get in line to do anything with that one. Just sort of hung the bat out. Oh, and then strained down the leg. And what makes that even worse for Haitian Latinez, the batsman, because of the fumble from the wicketkeeper, are able to come back to take a single. So that's 2 wides. Important stage of the game this. It's a point where Haitian Latina need a wicket. They need to try and break this partnership before it really gets going. Good example of how well these two are running these singles. Just dropping the bat on the ball and off they go. And this is of course all about knowing the wicket. They've played on it, played well on it, they've won on it, played big games, won big games. They know how it plays, and they know that if bowlers bowl a good line, it's difficult to score runs of it. So anything that's there for the taking, whether it's a single off the bat or whether it's a single off a wide ball, they're going to take it.
Well, they consider this ground a bit of a lucky ground, the Brescia boys, because they've now played 4 games here and won all 4 of them. Beat Shabnan, huge appeals, oh he's given! Clearly a little nick on it, and Shadnan Khan has to walk. Gurshwak Singh comes on and gets the breakthrough. They needed a second wicket, and in the 6th over, at the back end of the power play, they finally got it. The partnership broken, and Shadnan gone for 15 off 14, just a little nick behind, and a regulation catch for Wishpal Singh.
Yeah, I mean, Haitian Latina, they were absolutely dead sturt. They had their man. Everybody went up. It was one of those appeals that really puts the pressure on the umpire as well as the batsman. The batsman not interested, head down, as you probably think he would, but the umpire had to think about it. Good to see. And after some thinking, the finger went up. That's right on cue. I was saying they need a wicket. They need to break this partnership. And there it is. It's a new batsman having a little chat with the man who's out there. Ahmed Alam probably saying to right, okay, this is what it's doing. This is what you've got to be careful of.
Well, they should know this track, Brescia. As I mentioned, they've played 2 league games here against Royal Roma. They won both of those, and then they won twice here yesterday against Kings 11 in the Coppa Italia in the T20 Championship finals. Ataullah, the youngster, 22-year-old, the baby of this squad, the youngest man in the Brescia squad, comes to the wicket. The world watching on ECN.cricket, and his side looking to qualify for the big prize, ECL 2021. Very full, straight back to him. Well, they're appealing that that's gone. It really did look like a bump ball. For all of my non-existent savings, this really did look like a bump ball. Let's see it again. Well, here's the side angle. A lot of confusion out there. Well, the reverse angle would suggest he's actually out. It was one of those ones that really wasn't clear, but eventually umpires Asad Ali and Samantha Katepe have consulted each other. It is given, and he's on a hat-trick. Slightly strange, caught and bowled. Everyone seemed pretty sure initially, apart from the fielding side, that actually it was a bump ball, but nope. Ataullah is gone. Golden Duck, he is out. And it is a hat-trick ball. His very first over in this ECL playoff for Gurshwak Singh. Bit of a strange one.
Very strange. The bowler was sure. He was up straight away. Was absolutely puzzled why the umpire hadn't given it. But it was good to see the officials work together. They had a chat. And obviously the umpire on strike spoke to Samantha, the other umpire, and said, "What do you think, buddy?" And he said, "Well, from where I'm standing, it went straight up."
Well, that square leg view gives it away. So Samantha Katepe's clearly had a word with Asad Ali and said, actually, from my angle, that's out. People forget, of course, the umpires have to have teamwork as an essential part of what they do, as well as the teams themselves. It's full, well bowled. Flicked away though, nicely played too. Just manoeuvring the ball in towards the fine leg boundary. It's a nice shot. Milwik Singh on the hat-trick. Instead he gets hit for 4. It's as good a hat-trick ball as you could want really. It's hitting the base of the middle stump. But Babar Hussain just flicks it away for 4, and he's going to be a key man for Brescia because yesterday he finished off both of the successful run chases against Kings 11. 33 not out off 22 in the first one, and a runner ball 18 in a nervy, low-scoring second final to see them home.
Yeah, Gursprak Singh just adjusting his field slightly. That was a good ball first up, a good angle of the camera there, seeing how much it swung. Just swung too much.
That's down leg, that's gone a long way down leg, and that will be 5 wides. Well, he's just allowed the adrenaline to get the better of him here, the excitement of being on a hat-trick ball and that being clipped away for 4, and the beam's still running, and it's a poor delivery.
Yeah, poor delivery, and in the end, okay, he's taken 2 wickets, which is great, but that's just 11 runs have just come off the next 2 balls, which is not so good. And in a...
I'd make it 9.
Yep, absolutely. 9 runs, excuse me, yeah, 9 runs come off, and that takes a little bit of pressure off Brescia now.
Swag still trying to complete this over. It's prodded back by Hussain. And so comes to the end of a very eventful and long first over by Gursprak Singh. 2 for 12. Dot, 2 wides, single, wicket, wicket, 4, 5 wides, dot. A bit of everything in there. And after 6 overs, the power play complete. It's not the run rate that's the problem for Brescia Cricket Club. No doubt about that. They are 54 for 3. It's the second part of that is the issue. Arguably 3 of, if not their 3 best batsmen, all gone.
Yeah, I mean, Asian Latina now, they know they've got to take wickets. As you said, run rate is not the problem. So have they got somebody on there that can give the ball to, somebody who can just, I don't know, test them a bit, loop it up, a bit of spin. Just worth trying at this stage. If they can buy a wicket or 2, and they'd be fancying themselves to run through the batting order.
Just nicking the single. They're actually looking at 2 in front of long on, and it wasn't there in the end. Charanjit Singh flying in. The opening bowler out in the outfield now. He made sure there wasn't the possibility of 2. Quite content to take 1. They only need 7 and over.
Sukhpreet Singh continues.
Ball, well bowled.
That was very well bowled. That one just took off. It wasn't that short of a length, but it absolutely hit the deck and took off, and well played by the batsman. Good, this is good pressure bowling, varying the pace, varying his line.
Well, what they're trying to do here is create the illusion of pressure. The reason I say that is that the required run rate isn't anything to be scared about. Full toss. He knows that there's plenty of sweeping coverage out there. Seems quite content to just knock singles, Baba Hussein, and that's exactly what we saw from him yesterday. Batted with good tempo to the situation. Asian Latina know their best chance of winning this game is to bowl Brescia out, or come close to doing so. Instigate a collapse, cause some chaos. Good wrists. Works this into the gap at square leg. One more.
Yeah, I'd like to see Asian Latina. They know they need to get wickets. The run rate at the moment is against them. You know, Brescia right on top of that. I'd like to see them add a bit of pressure, maybe bring a few fielders in, make those singles that they're taking very freely at the moment more difficult. Apply a bit of pressure, at least look like they're trying to take wickets. And just on cue, a man has gone in that spot now to try and cut that one out. So that's a good call from the skipper.
No good use of the wrist just to flick this round the corner. Gormuk will give chase, keeps it to 1. So another over gone. 58 for 3. That is a really good tight over. That's exactly what they need. Now they can set the field deep and have up to 5 boundary riders. Just 4 runs from it, all dots and singles. And there's only so much time that Ahmed Khan and Baba Hussein can keep doing that until they will feel under pressure that they've got to play a big shot, and that's where they could perish.
At the moment, they're getting away with it. Thankfully, also to extras. I think extras are key. Asian Latina bowled quite a few wides.
15,
there you go. So, yeah, that's all. Everything's, at the moment, working in their favour. OK, they've lost 3 wickets. Amazingly, 2 of those golden ducks as well, which you don't see too often in top 3.
Hussein calls for 2, but only get 1 there. And done by Jaswant Singh, who might be used later on with the ball, is little left arm mediums. We've seen Charanjit Singh and Hashmat Dinsa, the 2 opening bowlers. Now we're into Kerswak and Sukhbir, 2 common first change bowlers. Nicely bowled. Got the spin option of Amandeep Singh, a 6-hitting batsman who earlier on didn't really fire when sent up the order to come in at number 3. He bowls little right arm offies, and then Jaswant Singh can bowl his little left arm medium. So that's the 6 bowling options Asian Latina have got available to them. Just content to knock a single into the very vacant leg side.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about there. These singles are just far too easy. When I was a bowler and I was charging in, if these sort of singles are being taken off me, I'm not going to be a happy man. I'm going to be looking at the captain and say, look, Skip, there's no run there. There cannot be a run there. We need to apply pressure. Okay, they can afford to take these singles and take the odd boundary. We need to get the wickets. Let's put a man in there, make them work for these runs. At the moment, they're not working for them.
Try the quick single again. And they're going to get overthrows. They're going to get 4 of them. 5 to the score. Asian Latina letting themselves down in the field. It's just what you don't want in a close final. It was tip and run into the offside, and it ends up going over the square leg boundary. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Batsmen have got a change strike. I think they've ended up at the wrong end somehow.
Yeah, I think they obviously didn't cross for the second that they were attempting before the ball went past the boundary.
Well, wait on was the call that time, and rightly so, because that short backward point fielder is in very, very close. I think Charanjit Singh would have been able to run to the stumps there and execute the run out.
Kushwak Singh, he'd love to send another one back.
Oh, he's chipped that. Deep covers there. He was on it early, but he did know where his gap was, Hussain. So he knew that that was a pretty safe shot, in truth. These two have been content to accumulate. The question is how long they will feel like they can keep doing that. There's absolutely no doubt, though, that it is the Brescia boys who came into this game as the favourites, and with that pressure on them, they are the undisputed champions this year, having won both the Coppa Italia and the Italian T20 Championship, both of those by beating Kings 11 yesterday. And then in terms of the head-to-head record, well, they didn't just beat them, they've beaten Asian Latina when they've played each other twice this year, comfortably both times. They met at the European Cricket Series in September, the T10 match, and they met in the T20 Open semi-final this year. So Brescia undoubtedly will be confident of making it 3 from 3, but this looks to be a closer game, no doubt. Spin of Amandeep Singh into the attack. Did speculate if they'd use him or when they'd bring him in. They've decided now's a good time. Deep set field. Just trying to draw up the boundary count here. What they'll hope is as this spell of dots and ones continues, eventually that required run rate might start to creep up. And there hasn't been a boundary off the bat for the while. The problem is 5 overthrows ever so slightly undid all of the good work. The required run rate is still a very manageable 6.9. Got a single. They've run together well, these two. Just building a platform, building their team into a position of strength.
Yeah, they've run very well. I do like this bowling change. I was calling for it a couple of overs ago. Put the pressure on. Something different for the batsman to contend with.
That's again, just bowling to his field. Knows he's got the deep cover out there. He's got a 5-4 field, so it's a split field, but it's deep set on the leg side. So boundary options only really realistically on the offside. Oh, I feel like that's got a nick there. The reaction suggests a drop catch.
Yeah, there was, oh yaar, Kikita, definitely. Let's put it down. Batsman also fortunate because the ball dropped on the gloves onto the bells and he was inside his crease as well.
Intent to take the single. But what I like about these two is even when they've run a single, and it's probably only going to be one, they're always running it hard. And that pressure definitely contributed to that 5 overthrows, the sense of panic from the Asian Latina fielders.
Yeah, this is one thing, any young cricketer watching, this is the way to do it. When you're running that first one, doesn't matter how easy the single looks, run it fast, put the pressure on, and always look to be looking to sneak the second one in. And you'll be amazed how many mistakes and errors are made, which give you the luxury then of running the second one with a little bit of ease. Attack, attack, attack.
Nothing summarises the European cricket mentality. If anything does, I think it's that. Getting towards the midpoint of this chase. Off the inside edge, and confidently calls through for the single, and so he should. Definitely one there. These two are putting their side in the driving seat. partnership has steadily crept up rather than leapt up. They've put on 26 in 4 overs, but they've stopped the loss of wickets. Short and just worked away for 1. And without playing any big shots, they're both going pretty well here. So Ahmad Khan has got 30 off 27, and Baba Hussain has 11 off 12. Gerswat continuing his 3rd over of this eventful spell. He's gone for 10 and over, but he's picked up 2 important wickets. A bit of everything from him. It's nice again in that off-stump channel. Guided straight to short backward point. Charanjit Singh has been very busy in there today.
He's had a busy game, hasn't he?
Sent up to number 3 in the order. Only managed 19 off 21. Pardon me, 24 off 25. It was Amandeep who managed 19 off 21. Both of them struggling to get going. Oh, that's full, too full. There to be sived away, and sived away it was. A much needed boundary, the first boundary off the bat in quite a few overs. It's Ahmad Khan who gets it. And it means that as we head towards the halfway point, Pressure Cricket Club are more than halfway there.
Looking very comfortable. This partnership is key. Doing the right things. Not quite where he intended that shot to go, but if the bowler comes in, we'll continue.
Can he make it back-to-back boundaries? Well, he can't because that's a wide. Both teams have been guilty of their fair share of extras. That is the 14th wide of this innings already. Ouch. 26 extras. Pardon me, that did sound like a lot. I was looking down the wrong score. Well, no. They've actually, unfortunately for them, bettered their tally. 14 wides bowled by Asian Latina. 16 now for this innings. Single down to long on. Let's try that again, shall we? That was a mess. So, in the first innings, Brescia bowled 14 wides. Asian Latina already halfway through this reply have bettered that tally and bowled 16. Although I'm not really sure if bettered is the right word in this context. Both teams have not been as tight as they often are. Not been quite up to their usual high standards. Bottom edge. Well collected, good alert wicket keeping by Ishpal Singh, the 27-year-old behind the stumps. Wicket keepers, much like umpires, probably doing their job if no one's noticing them.
Yeah, I mean, we're sat here, Michael, and I don't know about you, but we're starting to squint a bit now. We've got the caps on, we're squinting. I'm just wondering how difficult that will be for the fielding side as this afternoon starts to come to a close and that sun is on its way down. So you wouldn't want to be fancy fielding this end of the ground, would you? And have to be taking any catches, certainly those that have gone high in the air.
Got the 12th man on. Ahmad Khan, 26-year-old rounder in spin bowl. He didn't quite make the selection today, but he's run on to provide a change of gloves, which has been duly taken. Amandeep Singh will bowl his second over with his right arm offies. He only went for 4 from his first. That's exactly what they need more of. 79 for 3 at the midpoint.
Well, you say that's what they need from him, but they also need wickets. He should have had one. Dropped by the keeper behind the stumps. It wasn't an easy chance, as to be said, by Rashpal Singh.
Cut away. Will be only 1. So from overs 5 to 10, they only scored 25 runs, Brescia, but they didn't lose a wicket. And for comparison, after 10 overs, Asian Latina had 56 for 2, so they're 23 runs better off. This is towards us in the commentary box, but will be cut off. They come back for 2. There was always 2 there, 1 on the arm. The characteristic of this partnership has been the good positive running we've seen between the wickets. single. It's been a characteristic of this partnership as well that they haven't panicked. Been unfazed by what's going on. And that's a misfield. It's really not what they need. Tunisia and Latina are not helping themselves here. And you need to break a partnership. You've got to create a sense of pressure. Got protection straight and on the leg side. Quicker ball. Content to take one out to long on, and unusually for this partnership they jog that single.
Yeah, these two batsmen are doing a lovely job. Ahmed Alam, okay, he's had a bit of luck, but he's still there and he's making the most of it. Babar Hussain supporting him well, both of them having a chat. They know the score on the board, they know what they need to be doing, the run rate, and at the moment they're cruising, they're in cruise control. They do not have to take any risk, and you can see that in the shots they're playing. Some of them, they're playing half-heartedly, they're not trying to get too much beef on the bat. They're quite happy to take the single, take the extras and wait for the bad ball to punish.
But this is a final, and the beauty of sport is the unpredictability. And yesterday, Brescia needed 122 to win in Game 2 against Kings. They were in veritable cruise control at 73 for 1, and they lost 6 for 28, and then an 8th wicket partnership scrambled them home. But they're being helped by these wides, and that is yet more of them. They didn't run on that one, where there's no need to throw this partnership away with a silly run out. They're just getting more and more help. The bull back on, and the bull bowls his 5th wide, Hashmat Dinsa. And that's not quite a wide, and it's almost a direct hit run out. Well, Baba Hussain had set off, and Gurmukh Singh rightly decided to have a go. Had he hit, this looked close. It's the pads, and that really was a speculative LBW shout. Go through for 1. Remember, of course, that ECS Rome starts on Monday, tomorrow, same ground, early tomorrow morning. Driven for 1. Following the great success of the first edition in September. Yes, that is a deliberate Borat pun for the Sacha Baron Cohen fans amongst you. It's European Cricket Series Rome 2.0. 8 teams, 27 games. As Hussain and Khan content to keep accumulating. Bergamo United, Bologna, Defentas Sporting Club, Kingsgrove Milan, Padova, Royal Parma, Royal Roma and Venezia will fight it out across 7 days in Rome. Missed ball shot from Hussain. Square leg out on the fence, so does have protection for this, the bull, if he decides to go short. Kept a bit low, that one, seems. Didn't get enough on it to beat the bowler. The bull enjoying every moment out there, and why shouldn't he? He bashed 38 off just 16 earlier on, featuring 4 sixes. Now he's trying to get the breakthrough with the bull. With the ball, I should say.
Yeah, so Asian Latina, they're looking to find this breakthrough somewhere. Spinner to continue. I'm just wondering, Amandeep, he's bowling for me a little bit flat. I'd like to see him just toss the odd one up, give it a little bit of flight. He's got to try and buy a wicket. You know, just putting it down there flat, the batsman's just going to take the singles. Here we go. Let's see if he does anything different with this one.
He's only conceded 10 from his 2 overs, but he's been very defensive in the way he's bowled. Well, that is flighted up. Oh, he's done exactly that. And it's just what my co-commentator wanted him to do, and it's worked.
Well,
they needed to break this partnership that's just past approaching the 50 mark. These two have added 44 together, but no more. The breakthrough is secured. The catch taken by Gurdeep Singh. It's just that bit of extra flight teased him in. He couldn't resist, and Baba Hussain, who finished off both of the two finals victories yesterday, is gone, and somebody else is going to have to do the job.
Yeah, so the question is this the breakthrough that is going to press the panic button inside Berkshire, as what happened yesterday? Well, we shall find out. The man who was the rock has gone. So what do we got now? What's in store? Are we going to have a close finish? Are we going to have a tumble of wickets, or are we going to have somebody come in, play the role, be cool, and just say, look, game's in the bag, buddy, let's just keep doing what we're doing, take the singles, we don't need to play those big shots. A little bit of pressure now back on the batting side.
The captain, Kulub Sajjad, has taken responsibility. Starts by finding the gap between point and cover, so Sajjad off and underway. Ahmad Khan going well. He has 38 off 36. Just needs a bit of company. And that's exactly what he got from Baba Hussain. Hussain making 17 off 21 balls with 1-4 before being caught by Gurdeep off Amandeep. Slower. He's flighted, held this back. And it was too slow for Ahmad Khan, if that makes any sense. Ahmad Khan threw the shot very, very early. Missed outside the off stump. And what I also like here from Amandeep, he's racing through this over just to try and add to the sense of pressure. He did it in both of his other overs too.
It's in the air. Oh, the fielder
through him.
Misjudged it.
And it's missed as well on the cover fence. Well, they're not helping themselves with the fielding here, Asian Latina. Dharminder Singh, short cover, unable to get anything on it. And then it was Gurdeep who's just taken the catch, running round, who couldn't stop it. It's gone straight through him. That really should have been taken, or at the very, very least, if not taken, stopped.
Yeah, he seemed to move the wrong way, didn't he? He moved too early, moved to his right, and the ball passing him at catchable height on his left.
This is a more convincing shot, but it's straight at point, so he'll have to run back and make his ground, Ahmad Khan. Well, I don't really know quite what lucky charms he's using, but I'd really like some of them. And I might actually ask Ahmad Khan if he goes on to win this game with a man of the match, player of the match award again for his batting. And I say that not just because he's been dropped there on 38, but yesterday he scored a match-winning, or certainly match-defining at the very least, or one of the key sort of knocks for Brescia in their first final. Hit 54 of just 48 balls, and he was dropped not once, not twice, but 3 times. All regulation chances. He was dropped on 5, 22 and 30, and now today he's been dropped on 38. He's had a couple of other half-lives. They desperately need a wicket, Asian Latina, and in doing so, they brought back their top wicket taker. The man with the maverick hairstyle. A nasty fast bowler, Charanjit Singh. That's prodded back by Sajjad. I am assured that he hasn't just decided for some kind of joke to put this hairstyle together as something colour coordinated with the Asian Latina kit, which I was quite keen to ask. Apparently no, this is really what he does wear 365 days of the year. That's a lovely shot from Sajjad, the captain. He'll only get 1 to the sweeper. Well timed, straight bat. Not panicking. He knows that it's Ahmad Khan who's the set batsman. Getting singles is perfectly fine.
Yeah, keep rotating the strike, get the singles, take any extras on hand, put away the bad ball.
So Slower ball, but he's slipped down leg, and they'll get one as well. It's messy wicket keeping. Well, wicket keepers are at their best when you don't notice them, but couldn't help but notice that from Rishpal Singh. So they pinch a second on the wide, and that has only added to the wide count that we have been keeping track of. Wides are into the up to 20.
It's well fielded. Yeah, whenever they seem to get a breakthrough and sort of sniff, perhaps they can change the game around and get a victory. Then it's a little period of some sloppy play from them, wides, etc., and they end up back where they started from. They're not able to maintain the pressure.
Back-to-back dots for Sajjad. Just got to keep his calm, the captain. Of course, a place at the 2021 European Cricket League in La Manga, in Spain, up for grabs in late May of 2021. Oh, that's a lovely shot. It's too full, and we know on this artificial track that when it's that full, you can trust yourself to swing the bat through the line of it. Sajjad did that with conviction, and the captain has his first boundary.
Yeah, lovely shot. Made himself room. You see how he got the front foot out of the way. Knew what he was doing. Opened up his shoulders for the first time. Gets his boundary. Good shot. More pressure now on Asian Latina.
Interesting aesthetic as well. The cap on backwards underneath the helmet. Not seen that before. Straight full. Now jumps out of the way of it. Can only prod it back. Charanjit was brought on back on to try and get the breakthrough. Their top wicket taker hasn't managed to do that. It's the end of the over. He's conceded 7, and that is a mini win without any doubt for Brescia. So the equation is thus 6 overs left, still 47 to win, and that required run rate has just crept up. It's now 7.8. It's definitely a game on here.
Yeah, this man bowling, well, he's done a great job for his team so far. Get another good over in here, and who knows, that pressure builds up.
Really holds this one back, but it's met with a meaty crunch. 6 down the ground. Ahmad Khan now just 2 short of his 50. And this is his latest blow. An absolute thump. The second 6 of his innings. That's been very, very much a summary in 2 balls of the way he's played across this weekend. He's a solid opening batsman. Not necessarily overly destructive, Khan. He works this nicely. This might well go for 4 down to the 3rd man boundary. It's dribbling towards there. Good fielding to knock it back in from Jaswant Singh. And so they get 2. And it's 50 up. Back-to-back 50s this weekend for Ahmad Khan. 50 in the first final, the Italian T20 Championship final yesterday. 50 coming up off 43 balls with 4 4s and 2 6s. He's been the anchor around which everyone else can depend. Cut away for 1. It must be mentioned though, he was dropped on 38, and it was a really poor drop as well. Going away for 1, the wicketkeeper's got run a long way from his postcode. And credit to Rishpal Singh, he did that well. So they only did get the single when they were eyeing 2. 5 overs left, 37 needed. And Amandeep Singh completes his spell. A tidy enough 4 overs, 1 for 25. One of my colleagues just miming something at me, and I didn't have the faintest clue what they were saying, with a leg lifted in the air, and then they said it's a Nelson 1-1-1, and suddenly I understood why they were looking at me with this strange lifted leg, creating suspicion, of course.
So, is there anything left? Is there any fight left here? Asian Latina, have they got what it takes to get a few wickets and give us a real interesting and close finish to this all-important match?
Captain on strike. It's a good meaty, convincing blow through extra cover for 4. Boundaries just when they need them for Brescia. A second 4 for Sajjad, who moves into double figures. It's a bit of a hockey shot, really. Opened his body up and forced it away through that bottom hand. That very strong bottom hand of Sajjad's. He's up above a runner ball strike rate now. What's Sukbir got on the reply? It's a very good reply. Hitting the middle of middle, and Sajjad respects that, as he should.
Yeah, good reply that. Top ball. Every time it's a little bit short, the captain, the batting side, he just moves to outside leg stump and sort of clubs it away. Can't give him that room.
Makes room again, Sajjad, and goes through point, and that's 4. 4.4. A third boundary of the innings for the captain. Well, it was just a touch too short, a touch too wide. He got inside the line of the ball and then guided it through that vacant point region. And they're bringing this back towards a runner ball now. Sajjad will get 1 out to long on. Think of 2, but it's not there.
And obviously you can hear around the ground the Brescia team egging his captain on. And Alam Khan, hi, 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 balle, 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 they're saying, shabash. It's all of that at the moment. And so it should be. They're heading to ECL 21.
And this could be 4 more down through third man. Sweeper will get round to cut it off. Just what Singh fields. They get through for the second. There was some muted run-out appeals, but Samantha Katepe quick to turn them down, and this is why. It's clearly in. Not by much, but by enough. Half a yard. That's all you need. Oh, you say they're going to ECL 2021, Rico?
21.
It's not done yet.
It's not done yet, but
yet.
you're just looking around now.
Stranger things. But you're right, the body language from Asian Latina is not good.
Yeah, body language is flat. They've just missed, haven't they? They've missed that one extra bowler for me, Asian Latina. I mean, Amandeep did well. You just think if they had somebody else who could bowl a similar sort of line, get the ball in the right places, it could have been.
That's a good response, though, from Sukbir. Well, he finishes the over well. It's an expensive over, but he's finished it off decently, nearly gets the edge. Ahmad Khan's bat. 11 from it, though, so it's definitely a shift in momentum towards Brescia. They need just 26 off 24 now, so it's almost into runner ball territory. No question who you'd rather be. Sajjad's looking fluent. He's got 16 off 12. And Ahmad Khan, the half centurion. So they don't really just need 1 wicket now. They need a couple of wickets and some real chaos to expose that lower order.
Yeah, I think the captain now, you're seeing him taking strike. Sajjad, I think he'll play his shots. I think he knows he's got other batsmen to come. He'll want to play his shots and finish this with a bit of style. The man who's going to try and prevent him, the bowler,
is the ball. His last over. Still hasn't got a wicket. He'll be desperate to do so. Hashmat Dinsa comes back on. The 40-year-old Be a simple message from his captain, make something happen. He's only gone for 19 from his free so far. He starts with a real effort ball. You can see how pumped up he is. He's got protection out straight from long on and long off. He's got mid-wicket as well. And a deep cover point. 5-4 offside field. And that's good again from the ball. Really nice stuff this from Dinsa. He's charging in for his team who desperately need him to pull something out of the fire. Not only keep it tight, but also get us a wicket or two as well. That's a really good Yorker. It's very well played. They're going to get 2 for this, out to square leg. Managed to just get the bat down in time and then flick the wrists on it as well. Really impressive piece of batting and a good bit of all-round cricket.
Yeah, hasn't that didn't say, seeing what Sajid was going outside the leg stump to try and play the shots. Fired one in at the stumps, thinking that that would be the ball to do it. But well batted, got a good bat on it and took 2.
Short, this has gone a long way up. It will take some catching. Fielders running in and running back and converging from all angles. No one got near it in the end. Chance of a run out. It was a minute chance. There was always 2, and as they have been throughout this partnership, both batsmen well committed to the running. Skied top-edged pull. 4 fielders converging, nobody got there. And then the throw, even if it was a direct hit, wouldn't have been a run out.
Good running once more from the batting side. Not ball watching. Saw that there was opportunity to take 2 and took them.
Well, credit to the bull. He's doing all he can to get a breakthrough. Oh, that's a lovely shot. We're taking cover in the commentary box. It's gone a few yards away from us in the end. We were fearing for our safety here. It was too full from the bull and met with disdain and a lovely clean swing of the bat from Qulub Sajjad. Just what the doctor ordered in this tight run chase. It's the captain's first 6. It's the 3rd of the innings. It now means the equation is under a runner ball for the first time. And that feels like a big moment.
Yeah, I was saying that the captain will want to play some shots, and that was a good one. Ginna Sona Shakka, 6 runs. He'll be liking that one, and I think he'll want to play a few more for sure.
Bull's last ball of this match. Single out to deep mid-wicket. So Sajjad keeps the strike. He has 27 off just 18 balls. A really good cameo from the captain. Did say that reaching ECL 21 would be the proudest moment of his career. To me, Qulub Sajjad. And well, I imagine that scoring the winning runs and a lovely cameo to take them there would be the perfect way that he'd have slept on his pillow at night dreaming of doing it.
But what a weekend it's been for him. No?
Oh.
I mean, it's just magic.
To win two finals on... To win one final on one weekend is brilliant. To win 2 is magnificent. To win 3 is beyond what you could dream of. It's almost like the good version of that saying of first time's unfortunate, second time's careless, and so on and so forth. Swing and a miss from Sajjad. He's not there yet. 15 to win off 17. One bonkers over with a hat-trick or a maiden or batsman losing the head, and this all looks different. But right now, this partnership is going very nicely.
Credit to the Latina. They haven't given up. They've thrown everything at it. They've just, like I say, I feel they've missed that one extra bowler. They're relying on the same bowlers to come back and forth, tried from different ends. The bowlers tried from one end and the other. It just hasn't happened. Just haven't had that little bit of slice of luck, perhaps, that they needed.
Well, Ayan did say yesterday morning that Brescia would qualify. He's now said, I told you yesterday Brescia will qualify. I'm from the future. Well, they're not there yet, Ayan. Another swing and the miss outside off stump from Sajjad. And give Asian Latina a lot of credit because they're not going quietly here. They've lost both head-to-heads between these two this season comfortably. But they're really making Brescia Cricket Club sweat for this. 15 off 16. They're still just about alive.
Yeah, but a big hit coming here. I feel a big hit.
There's plenty of a big bat speed. Sajjad's just got his adrenaline up, and he's slightly lost his timing that we saw earlier on in his innings. 3 dots here. I wouldn't have blamed his adrenaline for being pumping when he hit that 6 towards us in the previous over. It's a rank full toss. It will be a no ball. We'll take a single on it as well.
Yeah, no ball over the waist height. There you go, signal from the umpire.
A few people questioning how this game is decided. It would be a super over, not a golden ball. Full. Not full enough to knock the stumps over. But it's a good defensive back of a length line from Sukhbir Singh. And now, having been very animated in an excitable way, it is more shouts of nerves from the Brescia batting tent and encouragement from the Asian Latina fielders. Oh, he's gone for the scoop, and he's missed it. Oh, Sajjad, he's trying to get inventive here to work his way out of a hole, and instead he's batting his team into a hole. Pardon me, it's Ahmad Khan on strike now, after they ran off the no ball.
Yeah, that wasn't very clever cricket. I mean, just needs to get the job done, doesn't he?
Oh, straight back to the bowler, and it's dropped. He tries for the run out. He scowls and screams in anguish. Sukhbir Singh, he can't believe it. A regulation catch to get the man they've desperately wanted to. They've already dropped once. Ahmad Khan was on this so early. Ended up chipping it straight back to the bowler. And on 53, he's dropped for a second time. Sukhbir Singh gives him the life. He's bowled a brilliant over to finish off his spell, from which he's conceded 28 off 4 overs. That final over, though, went for just 2 runs. 6 dot balls. It was only the no ball, which they also ran a single off the bat from, that stopped it being a maiden. So 13 to win off the last 2. They're still right in this game. You'd rather be Brescia, but having done so well to get here, it's always the case with a run chase. The last runs are the most difficult.
So Charanjit, is he going to be the man to do it? Is this going to be his lucky end? We've seen the ball from the other end. He's swapped coming from this end now. We shall see.
1 for 22 from his 3 so far. Well, it looked like a full toss actually, but it dipped quite considerably.
Isn't it strange? All of a sudden, Sajjad is deciding that he wants to smash every ball to the boundary. They've been doing so well taking the singles. He's hit that 1-6, and all of a sudden, he just wants to do it by hitting the big shots.
Yeah, he'd been batting really well, Sajjad. He's only actually scored 1 run for the last 7 balls he's faced now. Oh, that's a wide. It's just outside the line.
That was really tight. I feel sorry for the bowler there. Me, if I was bowling and I bowled that, it was called, I'd be a bit, are you sure, umps? Tight one to call at this stage.
20th wide of the innings. That's definitely not a wide there. That's nearly bowled him. Somehow misses the off stump.
That was an absolute beauty. Slower ball, done him like a kipper. The only thing he did was miss the stumps. How?
Oh.
I'll never know.
Well, there's people saying in the comments if this was a T10 game, we'd be saying it's over. This is definitely not over. So much on the line. It's another slow ball. It's gone very, very high, but he's got a decent chunk of it. Oh, and it's dropped. It would have been a superb catch. Running 20 yards around to his right, Gerswak, and now the shy. Well, the direct hit, and that might well have been out as they were trying to complete the second run. Scooped this right up. It's gone a long way up off the bat of Qulub Sajjad.
This was a fantastic effort from Gursat Singh. If he took that catch, well, it could have changed where this game is heading.
They ran free. It's Khan on strike, and now he's hit it up in the air. Surely this one will be caught. It is caught. Well, that's the one they really did want. He's been dropped twice already, Ahmad Khan. But his innings is finally done. He's gone for 53 of 51 balls. He's been the anchor around which this run chase has been built. Again, a slow ball. Again, held back. Again, the batsman threw it far too early. But this time, comes comfortably into that offside ring. And it's taken by Sukhbir Singh. He makes no mistake. And so now it's 9 to win off 7 balls.
Yeah, that was a pressure situation. But Sukhbir Singh, we saw him take the catch earlier on. And, well, went to the one man that probably was going to hold on to it, and he did. So, yeah, this is becoming a very interesting finish. So, the man who sort of led the innings this far has gone. And I wonder if he was forced into that shot by watching the way his captain's been batting. You know, they could have finished this game already by now if they continued taking singles. But it's not over yet.
That's a perfect ball, just inside the wide line, but it's spilled by the keeper. Jaswant Singh has to do the fielding. And Rishpal Singh is having some trouble behind the stumps. It's gone through his legs. That's just what you don't need. That should have been a dot ball. And instead they get one, so that brings the new batsman onto strike. Faisal Shah to face. Batsman had of course crossed from the catch. Extras are up to 25. And you can't help but feel that if Asian Latina do lose this, that extras count is going to be a big factor.
Yeah, that was poor from the wicketkeeper letting that by go. A dot ball here.
That ball here really does set it up perfectly for us neutrals.
Because I think Sajjad will be aiming to hit big. And if he lets a few dot balls go, anything can happen.
Well, they're taking a lot of time to sort out their field here. Last ball of Charanjit's spell. He's bowled a magnificent penultimate over, conceding just 4 runs and picking up the wicket of Khan.
It's tricky because he's bowling to a left-hander.
It's well bowled. They get one out to long off. They think of the second. They turn for it and then turn back. So the new batsman Faisal Shah, the only left-hander in this Brescia Cricket Club lineup, will keep the strike. And it will be 7 to win from the final over. Faisal Shah on strike. Qulub Sajjad, the captain at the non-strikers, on 31. You can see them out there. Sajjad looks visibly a bit tired, sweating quite considerably. He's had to run very, very hard as part of that partnership with Khan.
I think the swing and missy has taken a little bit of puff out of him as well. Now, first ball, what do you think? Whatever happens, they're going to go for the single?
They've got to, surely. They've got so many wickets in hand. At this stage, they really should be trying to run everything. That 5th wicket partnership added 50 off just 39 balls, and for all money, it looked like it was going to take them home. But Khan perished. And now, Asian Latina trying to pull this game back when they'd seemed very much out of it. 7 to win off just 6 balls, and it will be Gursat Singh to bowl the decisive over. 2 for 28 from his 3 so far against the left-hander. Oh, it's a full toss. It's a really poor start. This will be at least 2 out to mid-wicket. Oh, it might not. There's 2 batsmen at the same end. They've scrambled through. What on earth was going on? Some serious crossed wires between Shah and his captain here. It's an awful full toss. Shah runs the first, Sajjad comes back for the second, then Shah goes back, and eventually Faisal Shah realises that he can easily get 2, and so he does. Just a sign of the pressure. 5 to win off 5. It's a dot ball. Oh, it's wided though. He was trying to slide it across Faisal Shah, but slid it too far across. 4 to win off 5. It's yet another wide from Asian Latina. It's been a real feature of this run chase.
Big time. That's in the context of a close game like this, as it's turned out to be, it's cost them.
Well, they've bowled 8 more wides than Brescia did. That's well bowled though. Oh, that's been wided as well. Well, I must say, from our angle, given that it's coming across the left-handed batsman from a right arm over angle, I think he's got a case to say this one shouldn't have been wided.
Yeah, that's a strange decision for me, that one, I have to say. The ball seems to be going wider as it's going past the bat to the wicketkeeper. Hard call on the bowler. Definitely for me a hard call on the bowler. Some conversation happening here between the umpires.
3 to win off 5 balls.
And as we're watching the play, what a beautiful setting as this game comes to a close, as that sun's coming down there, Michael. Absolutely gorgeous.
3 to win off 5. This is swung away leg side. This could be the moment. It is the moment. What a weekend for Brescia Cricket Club. The weekend you dream about, the weekend you play cricket for. The weekend that makes all of those evenings in the winter at practice worthwhile. They've won 2 finals on Saturday and the playoff on Sunday. The Italian champions of 2020 and the side that will be representing their country at the 2021 European Cricket League is Chandra Brescia. Faisal Shah hoiks the winning runs away. The captain Kulub Sajjad played a big role. He's not out at the other end. And they eventually do get home with 3 balls to spare, winning this one by 5 wickets.
Yeah, well played to them. Congratulations. So they should be happy. Nice scenes there of them celebrating. Give us thought to Asian Latina. They gave it everything in the batting. They didn't look like they were going to get to a reasonable total. It looked under par. But then some great hitting there from the bull. Hashmat Dinsa, he did fantastically well, putting on a decent score for his team. One that Brescia had to chase. I think they did the chasing very well. They paced it well. They made good use of running, took the singles perfectly well, and every time there was a loose delivery, they put it away. That's the way they did all the way to the end.
So looking back to the very start of this one, it was Brescia who won the toss, and because of their very strong bowling attack, they liked to field first. They did so. They did so to good effect. Hashrat Ali, who was excellent yesterday, was good again. 24 runs conceded off his 4 overs at exactly a run a ball. He picked up 2 wickets. That was a lovely square drive from Amandeep Singh, which was one of the shots of the day. The wickets kept falling throughout the innings. They just couldn't really get any momentum, Asian Latina. It was their first time batting on this new, very bouncy artificial track.
Yeah, and that was basically what I think was the issue with their run chase. The bowling was good, it was quick, it was rapid, it was short of a length, and they struggled to get back onto ball. You see an edge there, courtesy of some of the few runs that were scored that way. Basically, they didn't have nothing to fire the pace with the pace. It was too quick. They struggled. You saw the firecracker there celebrating in his traditional style, doing the old aeroplane. He bowled very well indeed. He was very sharp for me, as did all of the bowlers. I like the pace. They made good use of this pitch, and that's something that Asian Latina couldn't do. They didn't have, that's a great one-handed catch from Sajid, the captain. They didn't have the firepower and the pace that I think this pitch is made for. They battled hard. Amandeep did very good with the spin. But
a lot of credit should go, I was just going to say, Rico, to Hamad Dinsa and Gurmukh Singh, because they did give at least them something to bowl at. Dinsa was the star with those 4 sixes, but Gurmukh chipping in with 14 at the other end. And then in the reply, that was a huge moment. Nawaz gone for a golden quacker caught by Sukhbir Singh. Ahmad Khan batted well though, 53 off 51, anchoring things at the top, supported well by Shadnan, who himself hit 15 off 14. They both rebuilt in the power play after that very early loss of Yasir Nawaz. And just in terms of bowling depth, Asian Latina seemed maybe one bowler short compared to what we saw from Pressure, and the wides definitely had a big factor. They bowled 8 more wides, conceded 8 more runs in wides, I should say to be technically correct, than Brescia. And in a very close game, those kind of things make the difference. It was on a hat-trick ball at one point, Charanjit and Gerswag, arguably the 2 stars. They picked up a couple of wickets each for Asian Latina. The spin of Amandeep, well, my co-commentator Rico had been desperately calling for one to be flighted and held back the moment he did so, and it was. Duly brought that wicket. But then, from 89 for 4 after Hussain, who'd finished off both finals on Friday, was out, came a really good partnership. 50 added in just 39 balls from Ahmad Khan and Qulub Sajjad. They were both batting really, really nicely. That thumped 6 down the ground from Sajjad, one of the highlights. And just as Sajjad was getting in, he was timing the ball really nicely. They were running well, this pair, and they looked like they were going to see it home. Sajjad just lost his rhythm, tried to start hitting the ball too hard. The top balls mounted up and the pressure came, but these shots show the best aspects of the partnership, and also Ahmad Khan being a very lucky boy. Dropped 3 times yesterday in a match-winning half-century, dropped twice today in what has again proved to be a match-winning half-century. So got 5 extra lives across the whole weekend, and he did make the most of them, to be fair to him. This is eventually how he went, caught by Sukhbir Singh off Charanjit. Sukhbir's second catch of the game, very calm under the high ball, and a run chase that at one point, with a runner ball needed from the last 4, looking like it was going to be very close, not very close I should say, ended up being very close. Faisal Shah, the left-hander, coming out at the end and swiping that for 4 to give them victory with 4 balls to spare. The victors by 5 wickets. And so, joining Rotterdam, Svanholm, Cluj, Dreux, Crayenhout, Swaderston, CIYMS, Forfarshire, Gymkhana Helsinki, Lund, Moscow Foxes, Ostend Exiles and FCA United Stars Darmstadt, as well as Bjorka in Norway, as the 15th team at the 2021 European Cricket League in La Manga next summer will be Brescia Cricket Club from Italy, having defeated Asian Latina in his 2021 ECL playoff on ECN.cricket. And remember that, of course, we'll be back tomorrow for the European Cricket Series here in Rome. You can watch that on fan code in the subcontinent, or if you are elsewhere located in the world, remember that you can now only watch our live streams as part of the exclusive new partnership with SportsFlick. Go to sportsflickglobal.com and use promo code CRICKET to get 50% off your first month's subscription. But remember that europeancricket.com will still be the place for scores, previews, statistics, information and all things European cricket. So, wherever you'll be on Monday, we'll see you bright and early. For now, we'll have a man of the match interview coming up in not too long with Ahmed Khan. But I've been Michael McCann. Rico Full has been alongside me.
Yes, it's been wonderful to be with you, Michael. Great day of cricket.
Fantastic weekend of Italian cricket, and a fantastic weekend to be a Brescia man. 3 from 3 for them, the Italian champions for 2020, doing the Cup T20 double, winning the Super Cup, and then winning the ECL 2021 playoff today. Wherever you've been in the world, it's been fantastic to have you with us. We'll see you tomorrow morning for that playoff, and do stick around on the stream because we'll have a man of the match interview shortly as well. Bye for now. Welcome back to the Rome Spinacetto cricket ground for the post-match player of the match presentation. I don't actually have a trophy to present you with, but the man of the match is the same man as yesterday, Ahmad Khan. And much like yesterday, in a sense of deja vu, again he scored a half century for his side. Again he was dropped multiple times, and again he saw them home. How pleased are you to be sat here again talking about another half century, another win for your team, and now ECL 2021 will be with Brescia in it?
Yeah, first time thanks to Allah, and I'm so happy about my half century because of that. If you know, it's a very big game. Everyone want to win. Because of that, if any team win this match, they will go to Spain for ECL. I enjoy my batting, and captain trust me, and I do my best, and I played a national my game, and I took my third half century in this tournament, and I'm so happy about this.
Well, you can tell he knows his stats like any batsman. He knows that's his third half century in the competition. Must mention as well, when it comes to stats, so you were dropped 3 times yesterday, and we jokingly asked you what voodoo charms you were losing to get such good luck. Dropped twice again today. What do you put your good luck down to? Have you been sort of doing any particular rituals before this? Are you a very suspicious man?
Because of that, I have my family, they will pray for me, my friends, everyone pray for me. That's why I'm a lucky boy. That's why I play a good cricket. And do you know about that? When catches drops, it's a part of game. If you give to someone chance, if they will avail and they will win the match, like that, we do that.
Absolutely. So 3 wins from 3 this weekend. They beat Kings 11 twice on the Saturday, and then today in the playoff. Who else of your teammates would you particularly highlight as being impressive? Basharat Ali seemed to really stand out with the ball throughout this weekend.
Yeah, Basharat Ali bowled really very well, and he's a very experienced bowler, and I like to play with them. And he's a very good bowler. I have a lot of guys in the team. A good fast bowler, you see, a pacer bowler we have. That's why we are easy in the bowling. Sometimes another team punished our bowlers, but when change the bowlers, they will do a good job. Like Basharat Ali, you see, they bowl with the variations. Every ball a different ball, and he's a very good bowler.
So there's 16 teams from 15 different countries at the 2021 European Cricket League. Are there any teams or any particular countries that you would really like to get drawn with of all of the sides in the tournament?
Yeah, I see a lot of teams like Sweden, Norway, and it's a good experience for us if we will go and play, and we will learn a lot of things from another players. Because of that, when you play a cricket with another players, like international players, another countries, you will learn a lot of things in the fielding, in the batting, and I like to learn every time.
Thank you very much, Ahmad, and congratulations this week on both your 2 half centuries and the 3 wins from 3.
Thank you so much, all of you, and I'm so happy about your work, ECL, especially thanks to you, ECL, good job. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ahmad. Well, it's the players who are the stars, and it's Ahmad Khan who was the star, or one of them this weekend for Brescia. 3 wins from 3 for them. They will be at the 2021 European Cricket League, and they're the champions of Italy for 2020. Make sure to join us tomorrow morning on Fan Code in the subcontinent, and then across the rest of the world via SportsFlick. You can sign up on sportsflickglobal.com using promo code CRICKET for 50% off from your first month. We've got 8 teams, 27 T10 games coming from here, the Rome Spinacetto cricket ground. But for now, after this finals weekend, we're signing off and leaving you here. Goodbye from Rome, where Brescia are the kings of Italy.